Good evening, freaks out there. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Sideshow Sunday, another wonderful gift that we're bringing to you in the YouTube world. I don't know if any of you are ready for what happened last Sunday. I don't know if anybody can be properly ready for what this group of us brings to the table when we're all together in the same place collectively as one unit. I'm not sure the internet's ready, but oh well. Get ready, strap on your jocks, and deal with it, basically. We're down one man at the moment. He'll be here a little later. He had some stuff he had to take care of, but he's not going to be too late, I hope. So Fresh won't be here for a little bit, but Benny is here, and I'm going to bring Benny on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Ben from Unexplained. What's up, brother?
Yo.
Yo. What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing, man.
Well, it's been warm here. Is it warm there? It's got to be warm there too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's warm here, man. It's the thing about here, like even in the 70s here, we get such humidity that it just sucks. Like it's uncomfortable.
It's been very, very humid here today as well. A few thunderstorms this afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit of rain and then it just passed off. So, but I think it's going to get hotter the next few days. But I'm getting tanned quick.
Yeah, I was going to say you got a little bit of color. What I can see of you, I need to get you a light, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm backlit tonight, though, mate.
Yeah, you're backlit. I love the posters, by the way. Those are amazing.
Yeah, good. They're originals.
Those are amazing. Some of my
favorites. The Goonies is 1986 original from the USA.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and Return of the Jedi. That side even.
That's original too?
That side. Original 1997.
Damn, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. And
those are two of my absolute favorite movies ever. I mean, like, I love those movies.
Yeah, they are. Goonies is brilliant. My kids don't like it, but I loved it.
How can the kids not like the Goonies?
I don't think they sat and watched it all.
Oh my God, that's such a great movie.
Yeah.
Let me say hi to some people real quick in the chat. Larry Hart, welcome back, man. Glad to see you. Bernie says Disruptor number 19 reporting present. Nice. Is that Andrea? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, I know Andrea. Yeah.
Andrea.
She's one of my buddies.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Long Island, Rob S., Eric Bunch, Mom. Hi, Mom. And Sharon. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you.
Why am I... Why? Oh, I'm getting the chat now. Okay, I'm getting the chat now. Yeah, I can see it as well. Hello, everybody in. Mike, Mimi, Sharon, Andrea. Nice to have Andrea on board. There might be a few more coming in from my side tonight, I'm hoping.
Well, very nice to have you guys on board. Thank you for coming over and showing support. We really appreciate it. What was I going to say? Oh, Sharon says her kid's favorite film was The Goonies.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah. I remember, like, so I was born in 1980. I'm 43 years old. And I remember some, like, where I was and what was going on when I saw certain movies that, for me, like, culturally, like pop culture wise, changed everything. Like they are so embedded in like my brain for the rest of my life. So like I remember I was in Boston, Massachusetts at my cousin's house, which if you've never been there, so you wouldn't know the chaos that house was. If you know anything about these families that live in Boston and that area, it's usually way too many people living in like a 2-family house. And that's what was going on there. It was like my auntie Ruthie, who was like, you know, she was the matriarch of the household. She lived in the house. Then you had my cousin Steven Spanky, we called him. He's a big, crazy outlaw biker. You had my Aunt Cheryl and Uncle Joe. You had their kids, which I think at the time there was 3 of them. Then you had Spanky's brother, who I think lived there on and off too. There was a parrot that cursed like a sailor. I mean, This house was chaos. It was fun, but it was chaos. But I remember being there during summer vacation or some vacation and sitting on my Auntie Ruthie's bed watching for the very first time in my life a never-ending story and Back to the Future back to back.
Yeah.
And those were two of this list of movies from the 80s that still, if I get the chance to watch them, I watch them every chance I get.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Spielberg.
Spielberg
classic movies there, hasn't he?
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
And,
I'm a huge Jaws fan too.
Yeah. Jaws was absolutely winner. I love Jaws.
Man.
I'll sit and watch that movie if I'm halfway through or there's a little bit at the end. I'll just sit and watch it.
Absolutely. And you can't, that movie again. So like certain lines that live in pop culture lore forever, right? Obviously everyone knows the line from Star Wars, Luke, I'm your father, right? But then you have like Back to the Future in the second one where he's like, where we're going, we don't need roads, or in the first one where he's talking about 88 miles an hour. You have in A Never-Ending Story when he's yelling, Artax, when he's losing the horse in the quicksand. And then in Jaws, you have Hoopa drives the boat, or we're going to need a bigger boat. I mean, these lines that live on in pop culture lore from some of these great movies. But that movie terrified, like anybody who could get near water was absolutely terrified for years.
It was a scary film.
Shit, yeah.
You know.
Shit, yeah. It was so scary that people went on. They ended up having like issues with people hunting sharks after that movie, to the point that there was like a problem. Like they were overdoing it.
There's just been a tiger shark. There's been a tiger shark. I can't remember what country it was in. I think it was it Australia?
I saw this, yes, and they killed it.
Yeah, they did, yeah. And I thought, how barbaric's that?
Yeah, they killed it, yeah. I don't know if it was Australia. I think it may have been somewhere a little bit more like, I don't know. I want to say it was like not India, but like, I don't know, somewhere like that.
Could it have been Dubai or somewhere like that?
Maybe.
It's interesting. But yeah, so it's taken someone and they've killed it.
Yeah.
I don't know there's going to be like another 6 just like it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know.
It's made a mistake anyway, taking a hearing, you know. They don't really pick on us.
I know. No, they did. You know, most of the time, if they ever, attack a human, it's because they mistake us for something else. And it's usually, they do these test bites, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us, a test bite from a shark with teeth that sharp and that big can be fatal.
Yeah.
But what they said, from what I read, is that he didn't just kill the guy; it ate him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I think that was why they killed the shark.
Yeah.
Because it ate the guy, and they wanted to, I don't know, get him back. I don't know what the hell they were thinking they were going to do.
Yeah, I spent a bit of time in Australia, and the guy that I stayed with was a marine biologist.
Oh no!
And he said if you've been in the water 2 weeks. If you've been in the water just 2 weeks, you've been in with a great white.
Oh, I believe it.
He was absolutely convinced. In fact, I had a day when I swam out to a vessel that had been sunk, and 2 pointers, great whites, went underneath me and my friend. My friend turned white, swam back, never came in the sea again for the rest of the holiday, and we were there like 8 months. You know?
Are you kidding me?
No. So that was the end of that.
Good God, man. They're terrifying.
But one of them was a good 15-foot length, and they swam under us so quickly that it just whipped up the cold water, you know?
Yep.
But they didn't want us. They would have easily been able to take us. We would have never known about it. They weren't interested at all. So
crazy. Most shark attacks on humans anyway are made by bull sharks. Did you know that?
Yep.
And there's 2 reasons for this. One, the bull shark is notoriously aggressive, right? It's just an aggressive shark by nature.
Yeah.
Number 2 is because they can swim also in fresh and brackish water.
They go into countries, don't they? A long way in.
A long way in.
Yeah.
A long way. Back in the early 1900s, what Jaws was loosely based on was a series of attacks in New Jersey by bull sharks that were swimming up these inlets and then getting into little rivers, and these rivers are brackish or fresh water, so people aren't expecting a shark to be in there.
No.
And then a bunch of people got attacked and killed by these bull sharks, or maybe it was just one. I don't remember exactly, but that was what Jaws was loosely based on, was that series of attacks.
Yeah, amazing movie. Absolutely amazing.
Great movie. Bernie mentioned a couple other ones. He mentioned Top Gun, which is a huge favorite of mine. If you've never seen the second one, you have to, because it is arguably better than the first.
Yeah, I've seen the second one. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely brilliant. And The Exorcist was possibly the scariest movie ever created.
The Exorcist shit the life out of me.
It's terrifying, man. When you think about the fact that it's based on true events, and you have the priest to back up the stories of what happened to that poor kid. Like, good Lord.
Yeah. Yep. Nice.
Good Lord.
Super cool films. Films are everything, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
They're just part of you. They're part of your. They become part of you.
Yeah, they do, man. There's so much, but that's what pop culture does, right? That's what it's intended to do, especially movies. If it's a good movie, that's how I know, like, instantly, right? I know pretty soon into the movie if it's a good movie, because one of the things that they have to do immediately for me is they have to build a relationship between me and the characters emotionally. If you don't do that, and you can't do it quickly, then the whole premise of the movie is just going to suck to me. Nothing you do after that is
for that.
He is a genius at that. He's a genius. I mean, look at fucking E.T.
Yeah.
Look at E.T. I mean,
I know.
Wait, was that Spielberg? Yeah, that was Spielberg. I had to think about it for a second. It was Spielberg. But yeah.
Spielberg, E.T., definitely, yeah.
I mean, just absolutely brilliant. He built this relationship with the characters. He built a relationship with a little alien that didn't speak any language. He spoke 2 words and stuck his finger up, and you were in love with that thing. I mean, he just does such a great job of it.
He's cool with the kids as well. Spielberg's cool with the kids, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He's got a link in the kids with the movie all the time. It's fantastic. Have you ever seen Super 8?
Yes.
Yeah, another classic,
Yes. Man, that's crazy. People don't mention that movie often.
I've seen it. I love it. Brilliant.
Me too. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah.
What's Bernie saying? Do you ever listen to Father Lampert, Father Rippenberger? I've listened to Father Lampert before. Absolutely. Yeah. Seen some absolutely insane things. If you guys have never heard of Father Lampert, go check it out. Go check him out. I've never heard of Ripper Burger, but I'll have to check him out too. Ripper Burger. That sounds like a medium medium food burger chain, medium speed burger chain. Ripper Burger. Ripper Burger. We compete solely with In-N-Out Burger and Five Guys.
Carson, Bernie, Salty.
Joe Monk. What? I don't know, Joe. What?
What's going on, Joe?
Good movies are like good songs. You've loved them. It meant something in your memory forever. 100%. Yep, absolutely. We were playing some songs the other day. We were talking about music the other day.
Yeah,
I was on an 80s kick, and I sent into the chat the White Snake song, Here I Go Again.
Yeah,
classic song, dude. Classic song, classic video, which they don't make videos like those anymore either. Like, music videos are just not the same. They used to be stories, right?
Yeah, MTV.
Music videos used to be a production. It was like, I remember like watching Guns N' Roses' November Rain. And first of all, it's a 12-minute song, right? I mean, you talk about an epic masterpiece of music. That song is a masterpiece, which they've made many of. Don't argue with me, I'll ban you. They were one of the greatest bands to ever live. what is this dude? Why is he in here just talking shit? Who is this guy? Anybody know this guy?
No, I don't know.
Saying you need to put a goddamn light on the second host. White snake sucks. That's good, bro. Happy for you, man. Glad you're having a good time. Unbelievable, man.
It's good job fresh, isn't it?
I was gonna say, is this fresh? Is this fresh? Playing a game right now?
Guns N' Roses do rock. Yeah, you got that.
Okay, all right. He's back in. All right, we'll let him slide for now. I thought he was trolling for a minute. I'm like, who the frig is this dude?
He had a slide, but he's got a foot in.
Ben doesn't put a light on because if he does, then he makes the rest of us just look terrible. So he's doing us a favor. He's like, listen, guys.
Actually, I'm looking all right this time around. You know.
He's like, I'm going to let you guys. If I put the light on, that's it. Game is over.
Much better than last week, yeah? I better show you and everything.
You look at you, man. You look like $1 million.
Yeah, I know. I've got a little white spot here where the stubble was, you know? Didn't turn up.
Oh, Joe, I'm just messing around, man. I'm just messing around, brother. Listen, buddy. One thing you have to understand when we get together, it is absolute. It can be chaos, right? That's what this show is. It's the sideshow. This is a circus. We make jokes, we poke fun, but it's all in fun. That's it. It's all in good fun. If you can't take a little wise-assery, then you might be in the wrong place.
You're in the right spot, Joe. Hang on in there, buddy.
yeah, buddy. Trust me. We're just having fun, buddy. Just having fun. I don't think Whitesnake's a great band, by the way. I just think that's a great song. Not a band. That's a great song. Guns N' Roses, my favorite band of all time. Absolutely one of the greatest. But getting back to that, November Rain, 12-minute song, absolutely epic, masterpiece. The video was a movie. It was a friggin' movie. You were watching a 12-minute movie. You saw the whole story unfold. Boom, 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 boom. They don't make them like that anymore.
No.
This is
over.
If you get a video of flashing lights and you're going into epileptic fits and there's nothing going on except stupid cars and money and I don't know, man. It's ridiculous.
Have you ever heard of Top of the Pops?
Top of the Pops, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, do you know it was all mimed? Everything.
Do you know what?
It was all mimed.
It was all mimed.
Every single song was mimed. Yeah.
So they were lip syncing everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Now, I believe it. I mean, that's not hard to believe because
some of them got away with it beautifully, though.
I think a lot of times, though, like for certain shows, it happens here in the United States with certain shows, and certain artists will do that because they're focusing more on the performance aspect and not the singing, which I would rather them focus on the singing. I'd rather listen to somebody sing beautifully live than see you dance about the stage like a weirdo. Adele, Adele doesn't have to worry about that. She's somebody who could probably sing Gargling Glass. Like she's
very good, very talented.
Yeah.
Very talented girl.
Ghost Crafty says I wore out 2 Appetite for Destruction cassettes. Yeah, man. The cassettes. God, that was another thing. The cassettes.
Yeah, didn't they just... How many times did you pull one out and it was just like, oh, that's the end of that one?
Yeah, dude. You'd sit there and you'd be going...
with a pencil.
Trying to wind it back in there. It's just ridiculous, man. The shit we had to go through as kids in the 80s. Like, I know I'm going to hear it from anybody who might be a little older that the 60s and 70s were worse than that. But it's just ridiculous. Like, remember the phones? Remember 1, kick, 9, 7.
I mean, I used those phones. I used those phones a lot.
Oh my God, dude!
And we had the button ones after that. Remember the big buttons?
Yeah, beep, 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 beep. Then there was Total Phone. Do you remember that?
Total
That's
phone.
what it was called here, when you could be on the phone and finally get another call at the same time, and you could click over, answer the other call, and say,
Oh,
"Hey, I'm on the other line. I'll call you back in a little bit," and then click back.
I don't think we had those here.
You never
Well,
had that?
I didn't have one anyway.
Call waiting?
Yeah, we've had call waiting, but it was like an answer machine thing. You could never sort of tap into it.
Oh, see, we could tap in, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Then we had the pager era, where everybody had a pager or a beeper.
Yeah.
That came right before the cell phones.
I skipped the. I don't think I was old enough to have a pager. I just had a Nokia, and then after that, I think I had a BlackBerry at one time. How strange is that? A BlackBerry.
So did I.
And then probably about 10 years ago, 10 years ago, probably started to play around with Apples, and then ever since then,
That was it.
it's been Apples all the way. Yeah.
Yeah,
And iPads and Macs and everything else that goes with them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wasn't an Apple guy. I was a Samsung guy, but because everybody else was an Apple guy, I was like, well, everybody else in my immediate household was. I was like, I'll screw it. I'll just switch to Apple. But I was a Samsung guy. I still stand by the fact that Samsung's cameras and shit are way better.
Yeah, they are. No, they're very good. Very, very
Loads
good.
better. Yeah,
I got the 14 now, and it's got quite a good camera system on it. But I haven't had a Samsung, so I wouldn't know what it's like comparison.
I'll tell you that new Samsung 23 Ultra or whatever the hell it is, the camera on that thing is insanity for a phone.
Really?
It's insanity.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. Payphones. I remember payphones. Absolutely. Yeah.
They're all libraries now here.
I don't even know if they're in libraries here.
No, they've made them into libraries. Well, if you go through the villages here, they're all full of books. I kid you not.
What?
So they've made the phone boxes that were paying phones into libraries. So you can go in there and you can swap a book, or you can take a book, borrow a book, take it back.
But you guys had different payphones, I think, than we did. What we had essentially was this box like this.
Yeah.
Right? It was made of plastic and metal, and the phone was inside it, and it had the dial pad below it. You guys actually had like a booth, right?
Yeah, red phone boxes. Yeah, they're still
out there. Like in Doctor Who.
Yeah, they've taken the phone out of them now, but now they're filled with library books.
Well, at least they kept them. I mean, the phone. It was actually the box that's the cool part. I mean, that's such an iconic symbol.
Yeah,
it's so neat looking.
Yeah, they're lovely.
We didn't have those. We just had this stupid thing attached to a cement wall, generally outside of the shadiest convenience store or the local dive bar. In the mall and shit too. But nobody even uses the mall anymore. Nobody goes to the mall. This mall here that we got was the biggest thing going for so long, and it's probably at, I would say, 35% occupancy. That's all the stores that are inside there. Everything else is empty.
Yeah, it's a strange game now with the online shopping, isn't it? Very strange.
It sucks. I mean, it's good in some ways, but it sucks in some ways. I always liked being able to go in and touch what I was buying, feel it.
Me too.
Hold it in my hands, put it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a fan of not being able to do that.
No. It's not the same, mate. It's not the same. So, Carl, how did it go today?
So, initially very quiet, right? First 90 minutes was very quiet, and to the point where I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm done. I'm going to pack it up. And then almost as if someone read my mind. Right as that happened, from two different sides, someone, I don't know, something came in from two different sides, moving through the bushes. Again, it's the crazy thing is you could try to convince yourself of things because just things you don't. It's hard to believe some of it, and you want to remain as objective as possible and as level-headed and grounded as possible. Mary Albright, I'm trapped in a glass box of emotion. Ron Burgundy, one of the greatest lines in cinema history. That was another classic movie, by the way, that I could probably quote frontwards and backwards. So quiet, and then something came in, and you can hear when it's ground level, when it's low. Whatever this was, I could hear the noise at ear height on both sides. The problem is you can't see shit. I can't see anything. It's like it's right there, but I can't see anything. It's so frustrating. It's like,
I bet it's green out there now as well, eh?
What's that?
I bet it's new growth everywhere now, yeah?
New growth?
Yeah, in the forest.
Oh, green? Yeah. You can't see nothing, bro.
No.
It's so thick. It's so thick.
It's taken out a lot of the viewing, hasn't it?
Yeah, like when I was in Patchogue in the fall, it was pretty open. Like you could see pretty far in any angle you looked, right? And even between the first time I went to this property and now, which has only been a few weeks, the change in the greenery is just it's nuts, man. It's so thick. You can't see a couple feet. Like it's just you can't.
No, it's a funny game. The Bigfoot thing is a funny game, and it can be fun in games.
It's very frustrating.
Any news from Fresh yet?
What's that?
Any news from Fresh?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm waiting on him. I sent him the link. I'm checking. Actually, I'm checking right now to see if I missed anything because I don't get notifications sometimes. I don't see anything in my email. And where am I going? Over to the chat. Bing, bing, bing.
He's bound to surface shortly.
I'm hoping so anyway. Sorry. This stupid wheel's spinning.
Bernie's at it again.
Bernie's at it?
Yeah.
There's too much green coming. Come on, Bernie.
How many cats you got there, Cole?
What's that?
How many cats?
So 3. 3 cats that live in the house, and then I have the cats that I, feed and take care of outside. And there's, at any given time, there can be upwards of 5.
How's the one with the wound doing?
She's doing good. She's okay. It looks much better. It's healing. It's not infected. It looked really bad at first, and then it looked to be healing, and then she kept like messing with it, licking it and like over grooming, and it got way worse. I mean, like way worse. And I was gotten really, really, really nervous. And then I put some antibiotic, antiseptic spray, and iodine on it, and she's okay. It looks much better, much better.
Good,
much better.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. It's good to hear.
Yep. She's a tough girl, man. Come on, Ollie, you're messing with my microphone, buddy. She's lived her whole life outside, which sucks. But she's used to it, to the point where like she couldn't be an indoor cat. She's 12 years old. It's not like you're taking a young cat and trying to get them used to living inside. She won't go inside. She freaks out. So it was all about trying to figure out a way to allow her to live outside, but to do it as safely as possible. And that was like trial and error, man. It was like, buying cat houses and realizing that nope, she doesn't want those because they're too small and she feels trapped. And then, it was building something and realizing nope, she doesn't like that because she doesn't have a way to get out the back, and all this stuff. And then finally figuring out like, okay, this is how I can do this. I'll set her up a space on the front porch where, nobody comes. She can have a space. She can have places to sit, lay, sleep, all that stuff. And then I'll also set her up someplace down in the garage at her actual house. And I'll create doorways so that they're only big enough for a cat to get in and out of. And so that's what I did, man.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad she's on the mend, mate.
She's special to me, man. She's very special. We need fresh, not half-used fresh. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna tell you something about fresh. You don't ever get half used. When fresh is there, it's full fresh. You're never getting he's the same all the time.
Like a V12 with the pedal down.
That's it. Like a V12 with the pedal down, 100%. We can't even talk about what he said, what was going on yesterday. Like all of a sudden he disappears. We're like, what's going on? Where's Fresh? And then he comes back with this message and we're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Where are you? You're where? Doing what? Yeah.
Yeah, we can't even talk. You can't even say it.
No, can't say it. I want to go back real quick. I have a video of something coming across my front yard. You can't.
Yeah, I saw that from Joe. Yeah,
it's cloaked. Anchorman, full of great memorable lines. Oh yeah, one of my favorite movies too. Grace W. I love Will Ferrell so much. Joe says he lives in the Sierra Nevadas, just west of Lake Tahoe. Then he says we're losing him. Are we getting a bad signal or something? My horses have had their hair braided. Their manes had intricate braids. Oh, that's really weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's very weird. I've heard crazy stuff like that before from people who've had Sasquatch activity on their property, that their horses have. I've even heard stories about horses being moved from their stables. Like they'll swap them. They'll move this one from that stable to here and then that one to that stable. Like, they're like, there's no other way. There's no possible way anyone else could have done it. They don't know how it's done. So they,
it's been an interesting week in the news, isn't it?
Yeah. You want to talk about the Las Vegas thing?
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. That whole thing happened back in May. And it's only coming out now, right?
Right.
Which again, that to me just goes to speaks to, well, they had to get it and they had to do what they do to it first. They couldn't just let it come out immediately, right? Because then there'd be too much truth involved. They still had to take it and mess with it. I've never once in my life, and somebody tell me if somebody tell me if I'm wrong, if you've ever seen this, but how many times have you watched the news or you've watched some program, anything related to the police and a police investigation where they're at somebody's house? They don't black out body cam footage because they're on someone's property.
No.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
I've never seen that.
Me neither. No, they never do that. If they're going in, you get the whole footage.
Yeah, I've never.
Doesn't add up, does it?
No, it doesn't
add up.
And then you have multiple witnesses who saw something flash across the sky or to look like it was falling from the sky. Some people described it as blue. Some people described it as green, which, they can be similar. They look similar in color, obviously. The body cam footage shows something zooming across the sky. It looks like it's on a downward trajectory.
Yeah.
People are saying it's a hoax because nobody filmed anything. Let me tell you something, folks. most normal people in a position like that, where something crashes in their backyard, right? A spaceship or whatever, and they see 10-foot tall beings next to it, they're not going towards that shit. And neither are you. I hate to tell you that. Most people on the planet don't have balls built that way. You're going to fucking run. You're going to be scared. You're going to be nervous because that's what's natural. That is a natural reaction. Most people don't go towards that stuff. Most people are going to go, oh my God, what the hell's going on? Get inside, call for help, figure out what this is, because they're 10 feet tall, for God's sakes. They have big shiny eyes. They're staring at us, and this thing crashed in the backyard. So filming is not the first thing that's on most people's mind in a situation like this, just as it's not on most people's mind when they come in contact with the Sasquatch in the woods. It's just not.
That's absolutely spot on.
If you get somebody who has the stones, the wherewithal to stop, calm themselves down, and pull out a camera and film, you have got something very special. That's why it doesn't happen all the time, because it's very special, right? It takes a very special person to do that, to remain calm in seeing something that is not normal. So I call bullshit right there. Hoax because they didn't film it? No, bullshit. Those people seem so absolutely grounded, level-headed, and reasonable to me when they talk to the police.
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing about them made me believe that they were lying, right? See, Crystal, I don't think he sounded relaxed. I think he sounded like, what the hell? Like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy, right? I don't think it was full on panic. But again, who knows? Who there were a couple or few of them out there. He may have been the calmest out of the bunch, and that's the guy you're going to want to have call, right? Or maybe it wasn't even him. Maybe it was one of the people that was inside who didn't really view it the way that the ones outside did. You can't judge because you're not there. That's the thing. But just because someone doesn't film, I think that's absolute bullshit to say it's a hoax. And trust me, I'm the guy who I lean towards bullshit hoax more than probably most people do.
Was I right in thinking that this guy actually referred to these beings as hairy and tall?
Who says that?
It's just what I saw on the clip. Did he refer to them as hairy, large beings?
I don't remember him saying anything about hair. He said they were first 8 feet tall, then he said 9, then he said 10 maybe. He said it was just hard to tell. They're very large. He said they had very large eyes that were shiny and very big mouths. That's how he described them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I saw something else on the internet pop up today about a footage from a doorbell ring quite close to there. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
So it was like a full-on. It was a full-on alien at the door.
This has nothing to do with their thing, right?
Well, it was. I think what I read was it was not too far away from where the crash site was, and it fits the evening that it happened.
Yeah,
I don't know whether it's bullshit or not. I'm not sure.
I would say most likely that's probably bullshit, just because.
Yeah, it could be.
Here's the other thing. I don't think that they would make it very easy for anyone to just pull out a camera and film them, right? If they were there. You're talking about a very, very, very advanced life form, right? If they're making it across galaxies or whatever to get here, then they are extremely advanced.
And the other thing is, I mean, what if something crashed? Where was the debris, and was there anybody hurt in the crash?
Well, that's the thing.
Did they just pop out and they were like, "Woo, we're okay"?
Well, who knows though? So we don't know. This is all the shit that you don't know. Right. So have you ever been in like a little minor accident where you hit some ice, slide against, hit the guardrails or something, get out of the car, check everything's okay, get back in and leave?
Yeah, cool.
Who knows? Maybe these guys put the brakes on, landed in the backyard, got out, checked it out, and said, all right, we're good. Let's go. Got back in, and boom, we're gone. There's not a hole in the yard, but there are 2 or 3 circular indentions in the gravel from I posted pictures on my channel and again, these photos were all removed almost immediately after they came out. Go try to find them on any news site or anything, and I promise you probably won't be able to, because they were removed almost instantly after they were shown. There's an overhead view on I think I posted that one on the page. If I haven't, I'll post it tonight. And then there's another view that's kind of like from an angle, but you can clearly see this circle, and it's a perfect circle. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, I saw.
And then inside the circle, there's that almost like an almond shape.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just weird, man. You have that whistleblower. Joe, yeah, absolutely. It must be bullshit because they didn't go on a TV show. 100%, buddy. Here's the thing. But they've admitted to us that these things are real. And even on the news, they said multiple agencies have admitted that they believe something that they believe or they know something crashed in their yard. They just don't know what yet. I'm sure they know what. They just weren't saying what. I don't know why, because they've already admitted to us that UFOs and UAPs are real. So why cover it up? Why with the bullshit? Like just say it. Yep, this thing crashed in their backyard. I don't think you're going to get much of a reaction out of most people.
No.
People, it's not going to be a panic like War of the Worlds, or you know what I mean. Like that's not going to happen.
I think people are already onto it.
What's that?
I think people are already onto it anyway. You know, they're already more clued up than they give us credit for.
Yeah, of course we are. We're more intelligent than that, and not only that, we've been desensitized for so many years by this shit that it's not a big deal. So it's like, it's entertainment. It's like, holy shit, this thing crashed in their yard. There was aliens. Fucking cool, man. Anybody got any video? I want to see it. But nobody's going to go, oh my God, pack up the kids, get in the bunker. Get in the bunker. Right. Get your milk and your bread and your non-perishables. Hurry up. It's the end of the freaking world. Nobody's doing that anymore. We're past that, man. So I don't know why they're trying to hide it, but I
don't know if you saw, I've just picked up on this comment from Bernie. He says, I've been cast in the Encrypted Connection Sideshow movie. For Kyle, I'm thinking Seth Rogen or Will Ferrell. Fresh is Rowan Atkinson. Mr. Bean is Mr. Bean. Ben is Gerald Butler.
Where did you pick these people from, Bernie? I mean, this is insanity.
You've got to get this guy on, Carl. You've got to get this guy on.
Wait, who did he say for me?
He said for you, for Kyle, I'm thinking Seth Rogen or Will Ferrell.
Seth Rogen or Will Ferrell? I mean, God, I love both those guys. They're absolutely hilarious. But
Fresh really copped out with Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah, none of these people look anything like us. At least, can we get some people who maybe look like us?
Gerald Butler for me. Well, it could be worse.
You got Gerard Butler?
Yeah.
Mother, this is ridiculous.
Thanks, Bernie.
This is ridiculous. Bernie, what did I ever do to you? What did I ever do to you?
Just rolling down there back. I kept that one because I knew it had gone up outside.
I think you're being sarcastic by saying, yep, the officer saw the UFO, because you said you kind of mad about the whole thing, and you're saying he sounds very interesting, completely legit. The thing about it is, I believe he does sound completely legit, because he's like, he's being as really, he's being himself. He's like, kind of making a joke about it. Like, if those things come back, don't call me. I don't want shit to do with that. And, kind of making a little bit of a laugh, but at the same time, I think like possibly that's just his way of trying to process, right? Who knows? I don't know. Oh, okay. You are serious. All right. Okay. Pardon me. Aha. Hello, Danielle. Thank you for coming. Now I know who you are. You can't pull the wool over my eyes twice. Looking for big name actors that could pull it off. Kyle doesn't smoke nearly enough weed to be Seth Rogen. How do you know how much weed I smoke?
Joe Monk says he's got a bunker.
Joe Monk has a bunker?
Apparently.
Joe, where do you live, buddy? You live in the Sierra Nevadas? Drop the address, pal. I mean, I love those guys, but I don't think. Listen, let's take a poll. If you had to pick actors for us, right, just based on visual, who do you think we may resemble? If somebody tells me I resemble fucking Will Ferrell, I love him, but I don't look anything like Will Ferrell. Come on, somebody out there's got to say, well, mix between Brad Pitt and Johnny Depp. Oh God. Anyway, that's why they call it the Sideshow. So, yeah, I'm into it. I think it's interesting. I was messaged about this by somebody that I really, really, really trust. And I think kind of has their ear to some people and things that a lot of us may not. Connections to people who, might know a little bit more about some of this stuff. But anyway, come on, Bernie. Bernie, you're going in timeout. Ridiculous. So it's interesting to say the least. What do you think, Ben? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's real? Do you?
Well, it's a fascinating one, isn't it? On the news, it's America this year has had so many. You've had the weather balloons, haven't you? You've had sightings here, sightings there. I mean, brown dwarfs all over it all the time.
Yeah.
And the guy hanging around with Mike as well, he's always filming lights out over the ocean here, coming and going. It's a strange old carry-on. And now this, I don't know. I don't know. I struggle to keep up with it.
It's the weather balloon thing was weird.
Yeah, very weird.
It was weird. What got me more, though, was the last incident. And that was the one that I believe happened. Oh, God. Where was it? Was it over Canada or something? I don't know. Somewhere up north. And they said that whatever it was that they were shooting out of the sky was not a weather balloon.
No,
they were chasing. Strange. That was the last one. That was the one that was weird. That just, it didn't fit with the other weather balloon thing. And even that weather balloon thing was just, I don't know, who the hell knows, just off.
It's a funny old game. And then to go and shoot it down as well. I mean, after you've known about all the others coming.
Yeah.
What was the point in that? Was it like a show of muscle? I'm not sure.
I know. It's not, it's not normal for the U.S. military to be going and shooting shit out of the sky.
No.
Especially over, populated areas. That just doesn't happen. So to me, that just screams that they believed whatever it was some kind of threat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Joe wants to know, do either of you believe you are safe from an alien interdiction of this planet? I believe that, I guess anything is possible. If they're out there, then, who do we know? How many different types there are? This is just the same as the Bigfoot question, right? Do we know how many types there are? Do we know if they're all nice? Do we know if they're mean? Do we know if they're, we don't know. They don't tell us this shit if they know. So who knows, man? I mean, I'm sure it's possible.
Bernie's got a good point again here. He's saying that, what's weird? How bad are these alien pilots? They seem not to be able to get from point A to point B without having an accident.
Yeah. Apparently. they have some issues when it comes to flying around this planet, dating back to 1941, was it, in Roswell?
Yeah, yeah.
Who knows, man?
It's an interesting subject, isn't it?
It
Vast,
is. It is
very
very
vast.
interesting.
So, Carl, when's your next? When's going to be your next sort of live video in the new bit?
It's so hard, man. I got to talk to Joe more from Hellbent, because they don't do a ton of lives, right? But they did a live last night, and they did talk about they got a signal booster, because they're in they live in the country, and the places they go are even more remote than where I go.
Yeah.
And they had a really strong signal for most of that. So I got to talk to him. I got to try to get a hold of one of these signal boosters. I don't know what even they use or how much it costs, if I can even afford it. But that's what I'd like to do, because I just don't have the signal. I only have it in that one section up there, man. And it's like, it sucks. I don't want to sit in that one section. I want to be able to move around, and it's not to say that I can't film, but one of the things that the live does for me is it kind of focuses me. I can get unfocused pretty easily. And when you're up there and you're in the mix of this all, it's very easy for me to just put the camera down and not want anything to do with it. I know it sounds selfish, but it's like it's almost the last thing that's on your mind in a lot of the situations. So I need to get a signal booster. That way I can do my normal streaming. Hopefully, I don't think it would be an issue, but yeah, I plan to go up every weekend. That's the plan, until it gets too hot. Once it starts getting nasty hot, I ain't going in there, man. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. 90s, and I just won't do that.
There seems to be a problem here with signal boosters, because you can get a dongle, you can get a hotspot, but you've still got to find a connection to make those work.
Yeah, the hotspot's worthless. I have one. Doesn't do shit.
There is a military company that will... I looked into this, but they said without having a company behind you, they won't touch it.
As far as what?
With the mobile booster.
Without having a company behind you, they won't.
Yeah, basically they want to. They won't sell you any of their equipment without you having a legitimate company behind you. It's a bit ridiculous, but that's what they've told me.
Really?
So I'm hoping that Fresh is working on something to do with signal boosting. I'm hoping he can come up with a solution. He seems to think he's got it sussed. So I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there for that.
He is one smart mofo.
Yeah.
He's so talented. It's ridiculous. He can do just about anything.
He says he's going to put a battery in my backpack, and he reckons I'm going to be able to get pretty good signal wherever I am. So I'm going to wait on that.
Yeah, he's a very talented guy. I'm telling you. If he says he thinks he can do it, I believe him.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting on. I think we're waiting on some parts coming, but that should be interesting. So watch that spot. When I can get on a live in the woods, I don't really like. I don't mind putting a video together, but I prefer to be a bit more interactive when I'm on the move, if I can.
Yeah, me too. I enjoy it. It helps me. In a lot of ways. It also makes me feel a little safer. Not being alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the interaction, and it's nice to show things as they happen,
Yeah.
Most of the time it's just a walk, eh?
Well, most of the time it is just a walk, but that's the other thing, is you're spot on. It's seeing it as it happens, right? There's no bullshit. There's no attempt to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. It's live. If nothing happens, nothing happens. If it does, you're there seeing it happen just as I am, hearing it happen just as I am. So that's another reason why I prefer it, because there's just too much bullshit out there, man. There is.
Yeah, you're spot on there.
Joe is pressing to hear what we believe as far as, I guess, this alien. So what do you believe? Are they here? I want to hear what you believe. Jump out of the live. Say what you believe. Do I believe the aliens are here? Is that what you're asking me?
I've got to say, Joe, I think they're here, mate.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that's a crazy thing at all. I think they probably come here and go. I think there's probably some that maybe even stay. Who the hell knows?
It's a funny little planet, and it's quite amazing. I don't know whether you've seen this, but in my footage, in some of my footage, there's this one little drop of water, and the sunlight reflects off of it, and it is absolutely bright blue. It's the most amazing thing I've ever caught on camera.
Weird.
But what I'm getting at here is when you think that was just a drop of water, a planet this size that's 70% water must be sticking out like a sore thumb.
Right.
When the sun gets on it. I do think they're here.
Yeah, I do too.
I do think they're here, and I don't know in what capacity. I couldn't go that far, but I do believe that they're already here. They've probably been visiting for a long time.
Yeah, agreed. Man,
just put it out there.
Joe, you're a little pushy here, brother. Relax.
No, I just put it out there for you, mate.
Yeah, relax, brother. Relax. I mean, sorry, wasn't the number one thing on my mind.
And yeah, water. Did I say water incorrectly?
No, it's just the accent. Sounds much better when you say it.
Water.
Yeah, sounds way cooler. But yeah, man, it's anything's possible. Anything's possible here. It's just we live in a pretty interesting time, that's for sure. I think a lot of things are changing and coming to light. I think it's going to continue to be that way as time goes on. Yeah. I believe they're here, Joe. I believe that the Bigfoot world is full of a ton of bullshit. People who pretend that they know shit they don't know. People who tell you that they have facts and answers and they see this and that and they don't. If it was that easy, there'd be freezers full of these things across this world, and there aren't. I believe that just about anything's possible, but I don't know anything, because if the first person who tells you they know is the one who's full of the most shit. Nobody knows, because nobody's able to study any of this stuff from a scientific standpoint for a long period of time, even a short period of time. I don't know anybody who's been able to take a Bigfoot into their house and sit them down, having a conversation with them and ask them all these questions and prove it to me. I don't know anyone who's been able to do the same with an alien or a spaceship. As much as I believe the government has them, we don't have access to that knowledge. So all of this stuff is conjecture, theories, hearsay. That's just what it is. And okay, well, I'm telling you. I mean, but again, this is we're gonna talk and have banter and talk about certain things, brother. Like that's how the show goes. I appreciate you being here. I'm trying to give you these answers, but again, I'm if you know me, you know that I'm the first person to tell you that I don't know anything. What are you doing in the chat, you dummy?
Yeah, Fresh. What's going down, brother? Get in here, will you?
I sent you the thing. Check your email.
The party's here, Fresh. You're just not with it.
Good God.
Yeah, Joe, we've tried to tell you what we think, mate. I can't really explain it any more than I have already. We haven't got the answers, Joe. That's the thing. We haven't got the answers. We're looking for the answers. I think we're all.
Well, of course, there's people who claim to have interviewed Bigfoot in their living room. There's probably people who claim to stroke his feet.
Yeah.
And, made him a sandwich, sat down, had a cup of tea with him. They're bullshitters. They're liars. So if you're part of this subject matter, I think it's easy to, to come to the conclusion that we believe in a lot. We believe that just about anything's possible, but I can't tell you that I have the answers. I believe in a lot of things, but what I'm trying to talk about it, buddy. I don't know what you want me to talk about. I'm literally I'm kind of confused. What exactly about it do you want me to talk about? I share the footprints I capture, the audio I capture, but I don't have anything new to share this week. And I'm not the person who's going to sit here and try to tell you that a blurry stump in the woods is something when it's not. That's just not who I am. So if I don't have anything new, I'm not going to fabricate. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to make up bullshit. That's just not who we are. And I think that's what separates this channel and these folks that I have on here, like Ben and like Fresh, that you're not going to get the same old bullshit that you're going to get from other places, where every time these guys go out, they're pointing at fucking 5 things in the woods and saying, "Oh, there it is. There's another one. There's another one." It's not. They're using the fact that they're using shitty cameras on their phone to their advantage, and they're using the fact that people don't have experience being out in the woods doing this on a regular basis to their advantage, to lie and deceive. That's what they do. That's what they do. You're not going to get that here. If anyone comes on this show and none of these guys here, Ben ain't going to come on here and tell you that he knows the answers to anything. Fresh isn't going to come on here and tell you he knows the answers to anything. We discuss things, we joke about it. We like to keep it light. We like to have fun. And then when we have stuff to really discuss, then we discuss it. But we like to do a little bit of all. We like to do a little bit of all that in each show. That's just how we do it. We want to.
There is a lot of bullshit out there, Joe.
Tell us something that isn't.
The internet's full of bullshit, mate.
Tell us something that isn't. What do you mean? Tell us something that isn't out there. Mimi's directing the show now. Get on the show. Oh, that's great. Mom. Yeah, my mom is a director now.
Good on you, Mimi.
Oh God, no, she won't get on though. She wants something to do with no camera. Fresh is in recon. Yeah.
Fresh is coming in, right?
Nobody knows anything, Joe. That's the problem. And if you believe people know something, then that's just it. Nobody knows anything. They can't know anything. They only can surmise, hypothesize, and theorize, because they don't have the scientific data to study to know the answers. Period. I know they're real. I know that because of what I've seen. But I can't come on here and tell you. Besides, I can't even really. I can say that for me, but I can't say that for anybody else. But besides that, I don't know anything else about them. That's all.
Something I do know, Joe, is bears shit in the woods.
Bears do shit in the woods. Yep.
That is an absolute fact, Joe. Okay?
I've shit in the woods. I've shit in the woods. And in one certain community, they might even call me a bear. There's a community where they call people like me bears. Yep. Bet you didn't know that.
I didn't know.
that people are seeing and perceiving may be manifesting out of our own collective consciousness, spiritual influence messing with us.
Fresh, why are you telling us this from the other
I know.
side?
What is he doing? Why is he in the chat?
Fresh, why do we have to hear this from the other side? You should be in here now from this side. What are you doing, man? The people have been asking for you, Fresh. Well, yeah, we've told you, Joe. There's a lot of shit around.
All right, listen. No, we're gonna talk. That's it. I'm not doing this. Are you calling us idiots? I mean, if you're calling us idiots, you can take a hike. I'm not going to let you take the show over, period, point blank. I've tried to be nice. I've tried to talk to you. I've tried to explain things to you. If you don't want to be here, you can go. That's it. Sorry. We talk about shit. We discuss shit. If it's not what you like, you don't have to be here, man. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Point blank. I mean, you're sitting here asking. I've given you my thoughts and opinions, and I don't know what else you want.
That's right, Carson.
I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. I've said it. All right, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Anyway, Fresh, he's making a coffee. Well, I don't know what you think's going on here. We've been on for an hour. You're over there diddling away in the chat. You're supposed to be on the show. Supposed to be one of the main contributors to the show, and you're not here. Who knows what you're doing? Has he got a pheasant again? Is there a pheasant involved? Last time there was a pheasant.
Fresh is coming. He's going to talk.
No, we're not Fresh. We're done. We're good. We're past that. We're past that. So let's we last week we ended the show. We talked about, Ben, your experience, which, dude, I hadn't even heard that whole thing. Some of that just blew me the F away.
Which bit of it, mate? Which bit of it?
So, okay.
I can tell you any bit of it in detail because I lived it.
I had only really ever, like, we discussed the stuff with the sticks, right? Yeah. How they were moved.
Yeah.
We discussed the possible prints that were left in the backyard. We discussed the marks on the tree.
Yeah. The marks at the tree were in a different location.
Right. That was at the bus thing, right?
Yeah. The marks on the tree were miles from here.
Okay, so we talked about the howls or the weird noises.
Yeah, the howls. Yeah, that was eerie.
That was all we ever discussed.
Yeah. So yeah, the howls were the only time I've ever heard that here at night. One time. In 47 years. And I've been fishing. I've been out at night. I've been in the woods. I've been places. I've heard everything that this place has got to offer, but I've never heard that.
You know, I watched a video recently, and it was a couple Bigfoot researchers that I had never heard of, and they seemed to be very professional, level-headed guys, right? What I saw in the video, their techniques and what they were doing, and showing pareidolia and, you know, all that stuff. And the guy was like, you know, I've never done a live. I've never made a video, not for this world. He said, this is the very first time I'm doing it in 40 years.
Yeah.
He said, and in 40 years of consistently putting himself in these locations that are, supposed to be active locations for these things. In 40 years, he said he's had 4 things happen that he can confidently say were Bigfoot in 40 years.
Like I said, it was the first time and maybe the last time that I'll ever have an experience like that. I had, if someone else had told me about it, I'd have struggled. I'd have been like, "Hold on, you said what? You did what?" But when you've lived it, you just know that it wasn't. It was irregular, as Fresh would say, very irregular.
Right. That's such a great word. I love that he uses that word for this stuff because
so do I. I've taken it over until he comes in the chat. So till he comes on.
Yeah, it's a great word because it is. It's true. This stuff is irregular, right? People say, when you come across some weird sticks in the woods, and when you look at it, it's just not. It's not right. It's not natural. It's not right. It's not meant to be there. They're not meant to be that way. I see 5 of them lined up exactly the same, spaced out perfectly, way the hell in the middle of the woods, where everything else in there is chaos.
Yeah.
Every broken stick, branch, rock, it's all scattered about in just it's a mess. And then you come across 5 sticks, 5 branches that are perfectly spaced in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're all leaned up against one other branch, and the bottoms of them are lined up perfectly. That's not normal. It's irregular. It's weird. It's strange. And you look at it and you're going, is it possible that the wind did this? Well, yeah, it's possible, but it's highly improbable because you'd have other things out here that look like that and nothing else looks like it.
When you start to tune into what's going on in the woods and you visit enough and you go there every day, you start to realize you see changes that the only way I can sum them up is they're irregular. I don't know how they've happened. But I mean, I was looking a few weeks ago at an X that was up above my head, an X that is completely up above my head, not this way in the ground, actually crossways on a bank, on the side of a bank. And you think to yourself, well, was that the wind again that's created one of these X's? Was that weather,
Yeah.
And the pine trees that are bent from one side, so they're touching the floor on the other.
Yeah.
Just in a few spots,
Mm-hmm.
And back to what happened here at my house. It was the strangest thing in the world because I'd actually come down to the back door at 12:30 to have a puff on my vape out the back door. And that's when this knocking started. And when it first started and I heard it, and being the guy that I am, I kind of laughed. I was laughing to myself thinking, this isn't, this, I must be hearing things.
Yep.
As I said, I went up and my wife was in bed, and I went up and I got my wife up after about 20 minutes because I knew that if she didn't come down and hear what I'd heard in the morning, people wouldn't believe me. And eventually, after an argument, she came down. She stood at the back door. I said, "You ready?" I clicked my fingers. Knock, knock. And she just completely lost it at the back door and ran across the kitchen because she wasn't expecting it. She probably thought right up to the last minute, he's on the wind up here. He's on the wind up. Yeah. When I clicked my fingers here and this thing knocked, she shot off like a rocket.
Yeah.
With fear.
That's the thing. There's certain things that when they happen to you, that stuff, it can't be taken away, and not everybody gets to experience this, right? Yeah. It's Bernie says, you talking about the spider crawl. Oh, the spider crawl is just the weirdest thing in the world. The spider crawl, it shouldn't be. It's not natural, first of all, to see a 8 to 10 foot tall creature that is on its fingertips. I mean, like have you ever seen a monk fall face first to the ground, catch itself on its fingertips, his fingertips, and then do push-ups like that? You ever seen that?
No.
So there are these monks that they do these crazy exercises where they'll like fall forward with all their weight.
Are we talking Tibetan monks?
No, these are more like I want to say Shaolin monks, but I don't think that they're Shaolin monks, but they're Asian monks of some sort. And they'll fall forward. They'll catch themselves literally on their fingertips like this when they hit the ground, and then they'll do push-ups real fast on them.
Wow.
This is what the spider crawl looks like. It's this, the fingertips are the only thing touching. And then the back legs are, they're bent. And because they have that flex in the middle of the foot, it looks very strange because, they bend at the knees, but the foot is flexed in the middle too. So there's this like weird bend, like this four-way bend. It's not natural, and they scurry like an insect. And it's like, how is this even possible? And you hear stories about people seeing this over and over and over, and you think to yourself, how is an 800,000-pound creature able to do this? But there are stories, or not stories, but there's video even of chimpanzees doing similar, not exactly the same, but similar movements. That spider crawl, though, is something that I think is very distinctive to Sasquatch only. And there's just no way to describe it. It's just not natural. Even in the way that they move, like if you've ever seen one move through the forest, they've been described in so many different ways. The best way, I think, is like a cartoon. When they start running, it's like a blur. It's just like this. And I'm sure if you've ever seen it out the corner of your eye, like most people catch it, is out the corner of your eye, and you're seeing something dart between the trees. It's not nothing. You're seeing something big. It's upright. It's large, but it moves so fast. You start questioning yourself. You're going, is this real? Is it the light? What the hell? But you saw what you saw. And it's just this, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they move as fast as they move, but they move so fast and so quick and so fluidly. None of it seems natural. You ever see that video? It's one of my favorites. I think it's the Memorial Day. It's not the one where it's running across that large field. It's the one where it's a female and she's walking behind some rocks. And she stops to bend down and she picks up a baby and she holds it close to her chest. And she looks at the camera, whoever's filming her, for a few seconds. And then she takes the baby. The baby leans its head back to look. She pulls its head in and she continues walking away. And when you watch this video, she's going over this terrain that is all rocky. It's downhill. We can't see what the rocks look like behind there, but the ones in front of her are big and they're, whatever. You can only assume that where she's walking is messed up too. But she walks so quickly and so fluidly, it looks like she's on one of those things at the airport. What do you call those? Where you stand on and it brings you with your luggage.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I just can't think of the word at the moment.
But that's what it looks like. It looks like she's on one of those things, man.
Like a conveyor belt.
Yeah, conveyor belt, just like that, man.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is just about as special as seeing a Bigfoot. Here he is, fresh off some secret mission in some secret location, fresh blood still on his clothes. That's fresh.
Hi.
He says hi.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, just tired. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm good.
How was everybody else?
So. Yeah.
Happy days.
Happy days. Happy days.
Well, I've just been listening to your piss.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd just come and spread some more in the mix.
Please do.
Yeah,
add some gasoline to the fire.
Take it, mate.
Just enjoying a little bit of a ginger nuts,
Yeah. Well, with the coffee.
Oh, fuck off!
Was the coffee good fresh?
No, we
Coffee's
drank
all right.
crappy coffee, Ben. Do you drink crappy coffee?
Yeah. But
You
I'm just
do?
wondering. Bloody hell, that's a fair old mug you got there, mate.
It's a bucket.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This is you've heard the story about this, haven't you?
Yeah, I
No,
have.
but I was just about to say there's a weapon on the side of your cup.
Yeah, well, that's actually metal, and I didn't know it was metal. And one day the coffee went cold, so I put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Then went to pick it up out of the microwave. Yeah,
And that
Really?
happened.
it nearly welded itself to my palm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
But anyway, talking about thistles, who's the prick?
Who's the prick?
Yeah.
Probably me. I mean, isn't that really?
Well,
Is that usually how it
No,
goes?
it's not you, Carl.
Huh?
I know
Conley,
exactly who he's talking about.
what's going on? You're talking
Yeah.
about monk. Hold on a minute. You're talking about monks flying everywhere onto fingertips and shit. What's happening? What's happening?
Oh man.
No, I just want to know. I want to know what's going on here. This monk was flying about onto his fingertips, and then this was happening, and
No, we were talking about
somebody was clapping, then
Sasquatch.
tapping, and
Sasquatch on his fingertips.
oh, of course, yeah, shit.
Yeah, the
Is that
spider
the one?
crawl.
Was that the one that fell out your eyebrow?
Yeah, that's the one.
I thought so. Yeah.
That's the one. I gave it a good grooming, and
I see. I see. We've lost the imaginaries.
we've lost the Imagineers. Ah.
It's amazing, eh?
Toodaloo. See you later.
If you don't fuel the fire goes out.
It wasn't quite a
Generally.
fire to begin with.
Well, no. It was
You
more
think-
like probably a tepid glow.
A tepid glow is a great way to
Is
describe
that a
it.
new set of glasses, or did they fix up all right?
I've got so many pairs of glasses, mate. It's just ridiculous. There's
Yeah,
glasses everywhere.
come on, man.
There's how many white pairs of glasses do you want? I mean, come on, it's just ridiculous.
Fair enough.
They're everywhere.
Lens.
Just glasses. I break
The
them all the
lens came
time.
out, didn't
I break
make
a lot
it.
of glasses. Anyway, what's going on? What's been happening?
Well, we've just been having a nice chat, really. It's been quite civil.
About what?
Well,
a
we were
lot of
talking
things, movies, music,
movies,
Oh, Christ.
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
Won't start with that kiddie fiddler here.
He's
We'll have
Steven
none of
Spielberg
that.
is not a kitty fiddler. You do
Yes,
not
he
say
is.
that on the
Yes,
show about
he
that
is.
man. He's a
Yes,
genius.
He's on the touches list, mate.
He's good at making
Here we go.
films.
More of his lists, more of his papers.
He's good at
Mhm.
making films, though.
Listen, I said overlook the fiddling with the kids. If he was round touching yours and it go,
What was that? I can't.
you acquiescent bastard. You haven't let me know.
My hands were there. Okay.
You've got an order on. You're on a court order. You've got to keep away from schools and nurseries. That's your. You fucking told you about this. This is why you
Not
cover
true,
up for them.
everybody. It's not true.
This
There's
is-
no truth.
This is
in
why
that
you
at all.
this is why you cover up for them.
No, I did not cover up for them. I just said he made good movies. I didn't say he wasn't a fiddler.
There's no morals, is there anymore?
Did you watch Jaws?
No,
Did you watch E.T.?
I cried.
Right. There we go. The guy's good then, isn't he? If he's made you boo.
To be honest with you, I moved on from all that. That's like past.
Oh, here we go. Bernie's on. Bernie's right on. He's right. Joe's ready to leave. He said he's going to give us a couple more minutes. Well, Joe, see you later, pal. Not your show.
What's hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. What is the problem with this Joe guy? What's his?
I don't know. He keeps making like these. Now he's making vague threats. He's going to give us a couple more minutes, but not more than that. Well, brother, you can leave,
For
bro.
what?
I don't
For
give a
what?
shit.
We've got to worship his appreciation.
Yeah,
What answer does he want?
I don't know. That's you can't
We
tell me
don't
what
know.
answer
We've
he
been
wants.
trying to get to the bottom of it for about an hour.
Okay,
Bernie's on topic. He said, we're casting the Encrypted Connection movie. Kyle's being fussy about actors that could play him. He wants Henry Cavill. That's not a bad start, Bernie. That's better than where you started before.
You've really made a comeback with that, Bernie.
That's a big comeback, Bernie.
I have no idea who that is.
Bernie, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes, and that's it. The fuck?
Right. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking beaming back on here, isn't there? Right. One, I don't know who that Harry guy is. I've never even heard of him. I've got no idea who that is.
Henry
Cavill. He played Superman, I think, at one point. He's a very handsome man.
I stopped watching films years ago. I think the last film I watched was Colours.
All right, great film.
Yeah.
That Joe guy, what does he want to know? Let's just get it out and done.
I don't know what he wants to know. Maybe he'll tell you.
He just wants to hear something, he said.
He keeps saying he wants to hear something.
Oh, my word. Something.
But I don't know what that is. Tom Hardy for Kyle. Mary, I love you. You're the best.
That'll do it.
Tom Hardy lives around the corner from me.
He does?
Yeah.
No way.
I swear on my kids' lives.
It's a different Tom Hardy. It's Tom Hardy, the guy who works.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we live on an island. It's only a small island.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's not that big. Yeah.
Everybody lives around the corner from everybody. That's how it works.
This is 10 minutes.
Shut up, you.
You're not. You're
ruining the perception. You're ruining the perception. It's only an island. It's ever so small.
Okay.
Everybody lives around the corner from everybody. That's how it goes. So, Kyle, let's sort one thing out. Signal booster. Working on a signal booster at the minute. It's all about creating a field around the main object. So everything works within fields. You've heard of electromagnetic field, haven't you? So that's how we need to create something. So your mobile device, which is going to be like its own transmitter and receiver, of course, but it needs to work within the field. So you have to create the field. And I was thinking, what kind of thing can we steal a really good transmitter and receiver from? Because all you've got really is military tech and stuff like that. So I was thinking, right, looking at how technology is and your mobile, one of the biggest targets, or one of the things, is a motorized vehicle or any form of vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing, you spanner?
I can't see it.
What does it say?
It says Tom Hardy lives a quiet life near Sussex.
Oh my God, Ben.
Okay.
All right.
Joe, you showed up. Joe, I'm gonna say something real quick, buddy. This is not the show. This is a sideshow. This is Sideshow Sunday. There's no format. We get on here and we wax poetic about whatever we feel like in the moment. Things go off the rails because there are no rails. If you want something that's more geared towards things, on the topic for the whole show, tune into the interviews. Show up for a live when I'm in the woods. This is not the show, buddy. This is freestyle. This is freestyle all the way. We have fun. We shoot the shit. We make fun of things. We talk sometimes. We do talk about Bigfoot, UFOs and stuff sometimes, but otherwise it just happens how it happens. This is the show that is unwind for the week, because the other stuff is always, you put a ton of work in, and it's just, this is the way to have fun with this.
Are we finished?
I don't know.
Right. Joe, you want to stick around. Joe, you want to stick around because it's not the same here. If you want to go everywhere else and talk to the same, go there and talk the same. Go and say, what is Bigfoot? What is this? What is that? Where did you find this? How's this bend? Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. There's millions and millions of channels like that. Off you go. So signal booster, transmitter and receiver. That's basically what we're trying to achieve. So, and put a field round your main device. So I reckon I've been able to achieve that. I'm just waiting for the 2 parts to come from China.
Danielle, yes, you can come out. You, a matter of fact, you've been upgraded from spoon and a wrench to a chainsaw. Go for it, sweetheart. Sorry, Fresh. Go ahead, buddy.
That's all right. Who's being chainsawed now?
Up to her, whoever she wants.
It's a massacre. There's going to be a crisis.
She's the mod. She can chainsaw whoever.
Crisis.
Chaos.
Fresh taught me how to clean the blood up.
There'll be chaos on the streets.
Crisis.
Yeah, you don't want to let it congeal. That's the number one thing.
Bernard!
In fact, I think at this stage it's.
Don't put. Here it goes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
What's that to tie on for this? What?
Oh, it's for the chaos.
What's going on now with it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
How's that, Joe?
Damn it, I can't find my sunglasses. Hold on. I got to get in on this. Hold on.
Oh, my God.
Nope, shush.
I'm going to have a poo.
Like the hat, Fresh?
That's going to last on probably about 3 minutes maximum because
I'm
of how
getting
warm
warm.
it is.
I've got to tell you, Fresh, I'm getting warm.
Okay, well, whatever your flavour is, really.
I'm going to have to lift my ear flaps. That's better. I can hear now.
It's always good to lift the flap if it's that heavy.
You're a naughty boy, you are.
Depends how it's positioned.
No, I understand. I was thinking of aeroplane when you said flaps.
I've jumped out a few of them flaps.
I'm sure you have.
I have indeed. I'm just going to put them over there before the. What the fuck are you doing?
It's a bit like looking in a mirror, isn't it?
Yeah, here we go. I love this
No,
accent.
it's not. It's not. I don't have dirty hands like you.
Dirty hands?
Dirty hands. I don't have dirty hands like you.
It's actually
Recognisable.
steaming up inside this hat.
You need to calm down. You're getting too frisky. I don't know if we can handle this. What is actually happening here? Are you all just mimicking me? Yes, it's that. It's there. There.
It's on opposites, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
You
there.
know this.
It's over there. Over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Sorry.
See, I told you that would last about three. That didn't even. You didn't even last 3 minutes. Him, that thing there, whatever he's doing, that's going to last. That's going to last loads less than 3 minutes. Look at him. He's going to be boiling hot in a minute.
He will. That's going to come off shortly. You watch. I'm loving the accent, by the way, Carl.
Appreciate it.
What has anybody found out this week? Anyway, anybody found anything out interesting this week?
Not found nothing out, mate. Nothing.
I
Don't
can't.
know. Don't know nothing.
Nothing
No.
at all.
Bunch of
So-
bollocks.
We've done.
Sorry to say. And Mark, in answer to your question, I will be back on it soon, mate. Okay. I did see you earlier in the chat say, "Where have you been?" And I've just been not
Who are you talking to?
researching.
Who are you talking to?
I was talking to Mark earlier on down in the chat. I didn't answer his question, so I just felt it important to keep it real and say. That's
I
what
thought. Sorry, I didn't know you was. I didn't know if he was continuing with your channel thing that you do.
Bernie's right on the money. We found out that ETs can't drive very well.
No,
No.
can't.
Right.
Must not have a great DMV where they're from.
Yeah, talking about the signal booster and stuff, fields, EMF, all this kind of thing. Yeah.
This is the part of the show where he says a bunch of words in a random order to make everybody think he's very intelligent and to confuse you into thinking he knows what he's talking about. So listen carefully. Go on.
Have you finished? Go on, try and keep that on. No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see how long you can take off. It's not going to last long. I'm just sat here going, how long? I'm looking at the thing going, that's 3 minutes and 41 seconds. It won't do 5.
I'll keep this whole goddamn. I'll keep it on the whole goddamn show. We only got. You got
God,
here so late. There's only about 15 minutes left.
This one's the real. This is the real deal as well. Look.
All right. You stole
What is it? What USSR?
Yeah.
You stole it.
You commie prick.
Yeah.
You stole it. You got the Soviet Union. That did. Do you know what? Do you know the Nazi logo? The actual. Do you know the logo?
Smells a rabbit.
That stupid little star thing. That little.
Yeah, and actually
swastika.
It actually means good luck.
Oh, that's good.
All over the world, it's not like specifically known to be, German. It was known hundreds and hundreds of years before in the likes of Japan, where it's a good luck symbol. So it was, again, the Germans, the KM stole that, So
Fresh. You know what I want to talk about? I forgot to. I didn't bring this up last time. There's cat hair inside here. I'm breathing in my mouth. Ugh, God.
You need to try cleaning.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be a revolutionary in my field. I don't have time to clean.
Okay. If
So
you move really quick through the house, you collect static.
And then you can just pick it up on the way out.
Pick it up on the way out and then use tape on the way out.
All right, I'll try that. You know what I want to talk about? We talked about it about, I don't know, a week ago or so.
What?
The knocking on the trees. Remember we talked about this and what it meant back in the day?
Yeah.
What did it mean?
So going back to way before, maybe many, many years ago, seated in lots of, myth and folklore legends and scripture is it's the same as the Candyman film is if you want to bring a demon through, they used to knock on wood, and that's where the saying knock on wood comes from. So nobody actually knows where. If you say touch wood, that means good luck. Touch wood, it's going to work. Touch wood. Hope you come through the operation, whatever. But knock on wood, nobody really knows where knock on wood came from, and it comes from like very old sayings. Like in a lot of old sayings in England, it's all to do with falconry and farming and stuff like that. Very, very old stuff. So the tree knocking was if you knocked a tree out in the woods. Salty.
Oh, Salty, I love you. I was thinking it in my head too, and I'm like, I'm not going to interrupt him. I've done that enough.
No. We like a bit of wood.
Yeah, touch wood.
Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
Go ahead. Continue.
No, it's just Salty will come in again, I'm sure. And so you did knock on wood if you wanted to bring in the demons. So all of these kind of groups of people that believed in X, Y, Z. I mean, going back, this is more paganism. So if the pagans wanted to bring the demon or the devil in,
It says knock on wood is what we say. Knock into the ground is what alien pilots believe.
So yeah, this old way of doing things, or summoning demonic spirits, it was all done in the trees, and the spirits used to come out of the trees. And this is all written, So all of this knocking of trees, the same as the whole of the gifting thing, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing more than an offering for gifting. and the knocking on the wood, which is these main operators in this field want you to believe, summon these creatures in, or summon demons in, or summon something in.
Yeah, because I looked into this after you said it, and what I found was there were other cultures that believed this, but what they thought was the opposite. They thought if you knock on a tree, right, on wood in a tree back then, it was you were asking the spirits of the forest to give you a blessing or good luck of some kind to help you with something. And you're right. It goes back to this whole offering, the gifting, they would give something, they would leave something at the tree.
But I mean, it's like, why does everything have to have a yin and yang to it? So is it like two periods of time? Did at one point somebody turned around and say, well, that's how we summon and bring out these spirits from the trees? Okay. And then another group of people, maybe a little bit further on, may turn around and say, oh no, we did it for good. We did it for good. It was done for what do they call it now? Like a goodwill blessing, like that kind of thing, you know. So I wonder what era that comes from, because it's always something changing, isn't it?
Well, maybe not though. So you have to think, depending on how far back we're talking, a lot of these people didn't have communication with each other, right? Which is something I wish I had looked into. I didn't think about it at the time, because potentially these were people in two totally different locations who were doing the same thing, just a different spin. And that was a lot back then, right? That depending on who they were, who the people were, where they were in the world, it really could determine how they saw things. If they were from a place that was very overly religious, right, then maybe they would see things that came out of the woods and in the dark as demons or dark or bad. So if you're knocking on the tree in the woods, then it's something bad is coming from there. There's always panic way back in the day when people weren't educated. They just didn't know.
Yeah, but the thing that you read here is that the things that on the constant is shadows or shadow people. It's these spirits or whatever they are. I think maybe can morph into anything it really particularly wants it to, whatever it wants to be. You know. It's very strange, very, very strange. There's I'm going to go into a lot more deeper into this kind of thing, but you know, when you're going back and looking into old history and how all history is basically then what they want to do is defer you from history or replace history. To hide history, to hide all these things, to hide why, you know, pagans did all these rituals, to hide why Freemasons had one child of birth and had to sacrifice it to the cult. You know, all these things are all covered up, aren't they? So the same thing could do with the knocking on wood, but it's the whole three thing. Everything you do this, say this three times. You know, there's 3 points to a triangle. It's the pyramid, 3 points, yeah?
Yeah, there's the sign of the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Another three.
Another three. Everything, three, as Tribe Called Quest said.
Yes, please.
So it was always the magic number, and 3 is the magic number. And
we are 3 tonight.
We are 3.
Thank you. That's that, and we are the magic slumber. That's what we are. The magic slumber. I was talking to a friend this week, and this is something you're going to find quite interesting. So
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
She dropped a little hint earlier about this, and I wanted
Yeah.
to
So
find out.
this is quite big and expansive, really, and it's like I'm too tired to really give it the full beans, but I'll start to break it down a little bit because it's very, very important that people realise these things and how things work, because people don't. And I like people like they can put triggers into my mind, because then I can go off with a trigger maybe, or it's something that's happened in the past, and they might trigger me because of something or an experience that's happened in the past. But I'll tell you one of them, and it's when I went up into Scandinavia. So Scandinavia is Iceland and all around, Sweden, blah, blah, blah. And I went to Sweden, and one of the things I went there to see was taking the of the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis. Yeah. And it just, it blew my mind how these things work, because nobody's actually explained to anybody how these things work, because nobody asks any questions, do they? So I'm not asking questions of how these things work. So let's just say then I'm watching all these things dancing around the skies, changing all these beautiful colours, and you can't actually photograph them or video them under automatic focus. You have to go through your manual settings and do everything manual. And I found that a bit strange to understand, but after getting to know cameras and stuff, you kind of work out why. But the point I'm going to here is the fact that why does these things exist? What is actually creating this aurora borealis in the sky? Does anybody know? Do you two guys know?
I would have a go at it. Yeah. Is it not the solar winds hitting the Earth's magnetic frequency?
No.
Okay. But that was what I was led to believe.
The reason why it's not been discussed is because and it blew my mind. It's probably one of our biggest killers. What the fuck are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh yeah. Oh, got all right.
I was just trying to hear, but I couldn't hear really good. I was trying to get close to the computer.
So why have you got your headphones in then, if you need to hear better?
Isn't that how it works? Isn't that how it works? If I get closer, the headphone will...
Well, no. But help him out, Ben, for God's sake. Where's his mother? His mother's not showing him out.
His mum is in the chat, Fresh.
Oh, she is, bless her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry, maybe I didn't mean that.
Should I carry on or not bother?
Yeah.
No, I shan't bother if you don't want to hear.
No, I'm listening. I always listen, and I'm listening now. So come on, let's hear it.
Connolly he's not bothered about it. He wants to piss about and get his big nose in the scene.
Who?
Connolly does it, so he just wants to piss about.
Well, that's all right. That's okay. It's off the hip, mate.
Let him have a piss about then, and I'll carry on.
No, listen, man. I'm just having a little fun. Relax.
I thought you've
just don't come in an hour late and then sit here for an hour and 45 minutes.
Hold on a second. I'll have none of this facetiousness.
Love that finger.
Oh God!
Where's that Taiwanese slave gone?
There's that ET finger.
Yeah. So where was I with this? So yeah, the Aurora Borealis. So always kind of like wondered how's it created? What's making it work? Okay. Why is it actually in colours, and how does it emit light when there's no light behind it? Because anything you have of colours say if you have a stained glass window or something that's coloured in front of you, you need to push a light through it to get it to emit light, don't you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was like, oh, right, okay then. Then somebody dropped a little seed in my head, which was called, are we all ready for this? This is important. It's called radon.
Yeah, we got it in our basements over here.
Okay. So
Not good for you.
the next thing I was going to, one of the things I was going to ask you tonight is, because they made this into a business in America, not in the UK. In the UK, which is different to, it might be different to America. So I'm going to ask a question. Do you have carbon monoxide testers?
Yeah.
You have carbon monoxide testers, and you have radon testers as well.
I mean, I don't personally have one, but they say you
Yeah.
should get them for your house because it's
We don't get radon gas here, but it does come from granite. Cornwall and Devon is full of it.
Right. You need to stop your nonsense, because if you go onto the Radon UK website,
I have, yeah.
go and look around and see where all the sites are.
Yeah, I know there is a lot of them, but mainly Devon and Cornwall.
Yeah, but you just said there isn't.
No.
So you were just, Ben, you just said there wasn't, and then you went, oh, there is Devon and Cornwall. No, it's all around the UK. I've done my own work.
Okay.
So what you've got to listen to is this fact. Is nobody understands this, and this is the important thing. Is, as Ben has just said, it's in relation to granite. So we're talking about radium, yeah. Radium's a specific metal. So uranium is a very heavy metal. But when the granite when granite is compressed and radium is created, what we then have is a radon gas, but the radon gas is being emitted all of the time. So it's literally a byproduct of the earth. And it's just coming out, this radon gas is coming out all of the time. Now, in really high doses of radon, it's not good for your health, obviously. And it was really weird when I started to look into the areas in the world where radon or radium has a major problem with the stability of society and that environment. And it's strange where the world's most suicides are in Scandinavian countries. Norwegian, all around them areas. I mean, I think it's Iceland or Greenland that actually has the highest suicide rate. So I looked into this gas, radon, in regards to mental health. And one of the side effects for radon, like in your environment, is consistent toxicity at a high level is mental illness. So I found it really strange that the biggest spill out of radon is in Scandinavia and all Norway and stuff, and that's where the highest suicide rate is. I found that interesting. The other thing that I found really interesting, which could explain all of the lights that you see in the forests, and this is something that you need to listen to, Ben, yeah, and maybe puffs of smoke, etc., but definitely in like orbs or clouds. Did you know that radon, when it hits electricity or makes contact with electricity, which would be ether technology, that's how aurora borealis actually works, is the radon is being hit by the positive, let's call them hydrogen ions, but it's not electricity as we know it. That's a whole different subject completely. But these are being charged by the ether, which is positive charge, hydrogen and ions. That is what the ether is. within the field. So that charges the gas. The gas will only emit light when it has electric connectivity. So when you see these lights in the woods and these gases, there's all these gases, and all of these places are all to do with granite. Guess what else? As you'll see in all footage, and as I was saying, 5 years to go to the guys in Trail of Bigfoot, I keep watching these lives being done with Geiger counters, EMF meters, and all this stuff. And you have a base reading in an EMF that will fluctuate. When somebody's operating a live with a mobile phone, its beacon transmitter is trying to pulse all of the time to keep and maintain the signal, to get the highest signal. That's what it does. So when that person then comes towards the EMF meter, it goes up, but then it starts going, and it's pulsing. When they stand away, as the person found out yesterday, is that all of a sudden it drops down. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's mind-bending.
Oh, I love it.
So the Geiger counter actually doesn't pick up anything to do with anything but radon. Radon is radiation. So wherever you're going to put a Geiger counter over granite, you're going to get... It means nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. I put my EMF meters and stuff away a long time ago.
It's so funny because this is like, for people who don't know
people don't
pay attention. You see somebody with an EMF meter and they're going, look at it, it's going crazy. These ghost hunters or whatever the frig they are, it's going crazy. It's going crazy. What you're not realizing is they're filming it from a foot away with their phone.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Do you know what? It's embarrassing to be associated with the species sometimes, because in everything there's a reason. You've just got to go even further and further and further, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just keep going further. Think, then think bigger, then expand it again. Expand it, because they're hiding so much from you, yeah? Most stuff that is deadly for you or kills you off, isn't it strange how they make a business of it? So they've got all these testers coming around testing everything to do with radon. Did you know this? And I didn't know this, that actually radon is used in health for healing with people that have high pain in arthritis or joint conditions, or, you know, really, really bad pain problems like back and stuff like that. One place.
Thank you, Mary. Sorry.
One place in Montana has a radon treatment facility for people to go in and breathe the gas in and then take home treatment water, which is radon infused water. So they go there and have the treatment, and it's all in little doses, you know what I mean? So it's not constantly all the time. If you was bombarded with this constantly all the time, like the people in Norway and all these places, you probably either want to kill yourself or it'll kill you off anyway, because it's all carcinogenic, but only in large amounts. And I was talking to my friend about how I researched many, many years ago, because after having my friend visit me, who ran submarines and stuff, and spoke to me very honestly about nuclear and what actually the truth is, I got in really deep and started to go to the real top. Did you hear that?
I did hear that. Ben just turned around at his house too. Did you have something knock at your house too, Ben?
No. Mine was the dog. I heard that fresh.
Yeah, I definitely heard that. What the hell was that?
Just bear with me a second.
Fuck, I think we're going to witness a live killing.
Yeah, well, at least we'll go viral. He's shut the lights off. He's shut the lights off. This is the true mark of a secret agent. He knew what to do immediately. Shut the lights off. They can't see me, and you can't see me kill them. Well, that was a skull. So, while he's dismantling this person who's in his house, let's distract the crowd so that there's not many witnesses. The wood knocking thing is very interesting. I thought that, when we talked about that, when he first mentioned it to me, I went, "Holy shit!" It really is just like the tree knocking with the Sasquatch and the gifting.
Yeah.
You hear the knocks on the audio that I shared this week and last week. There were not multiple knocks on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't do knocking much, but that's just a personal thing. Maybe I'll start. I don't know. But I was one of those things that I kind of feel like I shouldn't, because I don't know what I'm saying when I do it.
I've done it once. I've done a tree knock once.
I've done it a couple times, and each time I do it, I don't feel really great about it. Like I just go, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know if 1 means, hi, 2 means goodbye, 3 means, get bent. Like I don't know what it means. So it just didn't feel right to do it. It's just a personal thing. You can do whatever you want, obviously, but it's interesting.
I've heard.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, go on.
And then the gifting thing, it's like you're knocking to get them there to exchange something. You're asking them to come and give you blessing, and then in turn, these people would leave something at the tree also. It's just like the gifting site, right? Just the same exact thing. Same exact thing.
It's offerings, but it's been shown in films many, many years, over the times, like even goats being tied up, and it's the goat being tied up, and it's something else, and it goes on and on and on and on. Do you know what I mean? It's like it has to be there in part of the model as we all go on as human beings or part of the species. It has to be there in some form. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it was this years ago, then it's this now, then it's something else now, or
Yeah, no, Bernie, I agree. They know you're there. I wouldn't do it. Like when I do it, it's not to say, "Hey, I'm here." I know the moment you get there, they know you're there. I even believe sometimes they know you're coming before you come. I think
if let me tell you now, whatever this is, has both night vision and IR. I'm telling you now.
What's that?
Whatever
see in the dark, yeah.
Whatever this is, whether it sees above you and can see you perfectly, or can just be above you, but it can definitely see the same as any predator. Any predator, if you look at any big predator, like Jaws, like sharks and everything, look at the big black eyes, yeah, the big dark eyes.
Well, that's actually not correct. Sharks don't have great eyesight. They don't have great eyesight, but I know in the woods and nocturnal predators do have impeccable eyesight. So you're right there. That I would assume that they probably even have better eyesight than most predators out there, just because of what they are. I truly think that the hitchhiker theory is real. I think that they somehow communicate with each other over long distances and tell each other, "Hey, listen, this guy's seen us. He's tagged, quote unquote, now. Let him know. Follow him home. Show him that we know that he's around, and we know where he is." It's happened over and over. Many people, say it's happened to them. Many credible people, very credible. Mark Green, he had activity on the hunting at the hunting club where there's this mountain and all this acreage, and then all of a sudden it's on his land. wasn't there before, but after he had this encounter there, now it's on his land. Donnie Miller has it on that property way off, not where he lives. That property's away from his house, but then it's coming back to his house. Then you've heard stories where it's been even further. Somebody's out on an expedition or just vacation, say in the Pacific Northwest. They're hiking through the woods. They see a Sasquatch. They come home and boom, now they're having shit happen right in their backyards. One of my favorite stories was about this hitchhiker thing. And it was about a guy who was hiking in the woods somewhere in New Hampshire or Maine. I forget which one. He was away on vacation for a week or whatever, and that's what he was doing. He was hiking. And he came in contact with two of these things. He'd never seen one before, didn't have any interest in the subject whatsoever, goes home over, I think, 200 miles away. And then all of a sudden, he's there in his yard almost every night. Almost every night.
So when you look at that aspect and you think, okay, then it's almost as if it's in the Matrix with us all the time. Okay, it can see us all the time, or something can see us all the time. So it's just like a big viewing glass in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, some of these orbs potentially, people say they think maybe there's some kind of like drone, right? Not a drone as in like a mechanical vehicle, but a way for them to see without being there. Joe
Exactly
from Hellbent Holler talked about that big thing that they saw in the woods and how it almost looked like there were people in it, like moving around. There was a video I was shown by somebody who had filmed these things. There was 4 or 5 of them moving around the trees, and then this one that ended up stopping, and the light's contained inside it. It's not lighting anything up outside of it, but it looks like there's something in it. It looks like there's something inside of this orb moving around. It's the strangest thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of like look at the world and you have a perception of what's actually going on, which is the route that we all want to get to, is that it's only energy at ultimately the end of the day. That's all we are. When we say, like, this is something I was talking to Lee about, like, we're spirits. That's what we are. We drink spirits that changes us as spirits, don't we? We drink a spirit that changes us, and through prohibition and stuff, they actually designed alcohol, which is devil's sauce, which I call devil's sauce because it changes spirits. But in old sayings and stuff, they used to say, "Oh, he's a good old spirit. He's well-spirited. He's a good spirit." Now, when you talk and say these kind of sayings and these old sayings that we no longer say anymore, why do people always go, "Well, he was a good old, weren't he a good spirit?" And there were like songs to do with good spirits and spirits and spirits, but not anymore. Because it's all been taken away. It's all been replaced, hasn't it? So if we're just a spirit and an energy and we just use this vessel, then anything's believable, isn't it? Really, think about it. It's believable then. It's believable then that we could both be physical and something else then, yes?
Absolutely.
So if we actually believe in that, then we can actually believe that we can be then physical and then nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's what we are, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you have any belief in mediums and their abilities, and I do 100%. I've talked to one that completely changed my mind on this subject. I mean, floored me to the point where I just got.
It's impossible. It's just I'm quite. I don't purport to be the most intelligent man on the earth. I know my fucking mustard.
Yeah.
And believe me, I know when somebody's lying.
Yeah, 100%.
And there is no way that this lady could have told me the information that she told me. It was just not possible. at all. And
Nope.
same in so many different stories. So this is the thing. Have they got a gift? Can you train? This is the most important thing. Is this a gift, or can you actually train to be this way?
Depends on who you talk to. So I've heard some mediums say that everybody has this ability within them, but obviously some people are born with a gift that this ability, the volume is turned way up on the sensitivity meter.
Vibration.
Well, yeah, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they have something in them, whether it's this like their children. Let me go back a little bit real quick, because children are said to have the ability to see spirits, right? Especially the younger ones. Animals are said to be able to see spirits. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we become jaded and we become indoctrinated and we become trained to rely on other things and to believe in other things, and we lose the connection to the most purest form of everything on this planet.
Well, exactly that. You've been deprogrammed. You've been devolved, not evolved. You've been devolved. That's where we're at, and that's where
desensitized.
If you want to call it that, yeah. You have to make somebody before you can break somebody, if you know what I mean.
You break them and then you put them back together better.
That's how they work and operate, yeah. That's how your army works. You go into the army, they break you, then they make you. If they can't break you the way they want to make you, they get rid of you, because they know they can't work with that. Because you've got to be acquiescent. You've got to live in fear of what they're saying to do in everything they do, you know?
Yeah, but, you can't be a disruptor.
Huh?
You can't be a disruptor.
No, it doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. You can't even have your own mind or thought process of what you want to do with all these kind of things. So anyway, where we were going, we're going off topic.
There are some in the special forces though that are disruptors that are accepted, aren't there?
No.
Really?
I don't think disruptors. I think there's some bad mofos for sure. There's some dudes who can do some deadly shit.
Yeah, the ones you're referring to, and I know the people that you're referring to, yeah, like the likes of Mark and stuff like that. Basically, they got what they wanted out of the deal, yeah. They sold the soul. That's what they do. You sell your soul as soon as you go in. What are you in etymology when you're a soul dyer? Think about the word soldier, soul dyer. That is your job.
Yeah.
If you didn't know what soldier actually means, it's a soul dyer. You're trained to go out and kill souls. That's what it is. It's very Sunday night and positive and upbeat. Yeah. I know that's a big thing. You think, oh, fucking hell, not etymology again. But when you understand etymology, you understand so much other stuff. It's crazy.
Using my glasses to sort out my plumage.
That's fantastic. It's really, you haven't got much plumage, have you? Let's be honest. Come on.
Well, I've got a fair bit. I mean, it's coming from a man that's, you know.
Listen, I've got an imbalance in testosterone. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The beauty of this is the testosterone was used to make something a lot bigger and take the hair away from here. So it's used for something else.
Yeah, an ego.
No egos.
What's the noise?
What noise? There's no noise here now. Whatever that was a bit weird because it knocked on the door. The door knocked. It actually knocked. like that. And then it knocked on the window.
That's the second weird thing you've seen around there tonight.
Would you like to hear some knocks? I have some knocks right here.
Knocks.
Yeah, I would.
Get your knocks on.
Nah, you've already heard them.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, when you talk to natives and indigenous people and stuff, even they used to communicate over large distances. And there's loads and loads of people like in the back end of mountainous areas. And I was watching a documentary just the other day, and I cannot recall because I'm tired where this was. But they were telling how they used wood knocks.
Peace out, man. See you later.
Yeah, peace out, Joe.
Yeah, easy, Joe.
Yes.
I flipped then. I read, I would love to stay here, but then I went down and I missed. And then it went, the US military in other counties or other countries. I was thinking, what the hell is he talking about? But I was reading Bernie's thing and his at the same time.
Well, no, he's finished his. He says he'd love to deal with everything on this show, but they're not really doing it, so he has to go.
Yeah, he's been saying it all night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're as bored as with you, Joe, as you are with us. Oops. Anyway.
It's Joe Mary. Fuck me sideways. You're a rock star. Oh, God. You're a rock star. You are amazing.
Oh, she is absolute class. She is. She's so quick and witty.
She is, man.
Where's Mary from?
I don't know how old Mary is, right? But I guess I'm going to guess now that Mary's over 50 now. Yeah.
I don't know. Mary's got young energy.
Yeah,
Let's
she's
have a
got
vote
loads.
on
Listen,
Mary's age.
Mary's got young energy.
Mary's got loads of good energy, but she's
I'm
a
going to
very
put Mary at 32.
You don't ask a woman her age, first of all.
No, you don't.
No, she doesn't have to admit it.
We're not asking. We're talking about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just verifying. She did give me. She did leave me
ask.
the best comment that I've ever gotten. Yeah, period. Point blank. Never have. There's not been a better one. There never will be a better one.
You can't say that.
CBC, good evening.
Something's never going to happen. That's like saying something's never going to happen.
She's 62 years old. Get the hell out.
There you go. Told you.
Just dropped again.
Told you. Shut up, you. Yeah, I told you she was a bit older than 50. Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because how witty and articulate and how quick she can. She's had to have enough experience in life to be quick-witted like that. And I would say she may have even worked in a man's environment.
Do you know this lady?
Who, Mary?
You, Fresh.
Who?
You. Who?
Jesus Christ, Ben. I'm too tired for your shit. What are you talking about?
I just wondered if you knew Mary.
Of course I know fucking Mary, Ben. I wouldn't be piping and harping on about it. Would I?
Well, I don't know. Were you guessing?
Yeah.
Were you
Mary's a
guessing?
good one. Mary is a
Mary's
good
been
one.
around for a long time. She's part of the she's part of the furniture.
Right.
She's not just family. She's got casters.
Yeah, she's in the will.
Yeah, Mary's been around a long time. Mary does a lot for the community as well, and the Facebook page and stuff.
Okay.
She's very clever. If I'm not right, if I'm not wrong, I think I'm going to say it. Mary was a bit of a bugger back in the day.
I'm willing to bet the same.
Mary was a bit of a bugger.
I'm willing to bet the same.
I
want to hold on real quick. I'm going to read this. Harvest Mary Moon. I lived with my grandma, and there was a big Methodist church, old Methodist church right beside her house. The spirits would come through the outside wall, look at me, and go straight into the closet. Some of the covers over my head. Holy shit, that doesn't sound fun at all.
I can believe that as well, to be honest with you.
100%, I believe it. 100%.
That's all we're dealing with. I mean, that's ultimately what it's to do with. It's all to do with some form of energy. Have you heard of a guy called Paul Glover?
Paul Glover.
Paul Glover.
It sounds familiar, but
That name rings a bell.
it does ring a bell.
So Paul Glover has been part of like an investigation team in England for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a specific place in the UK. And it started off with just him and then a couple of others. When I said to you, Kyle, about, when I shared that voice clip, no, not voice clip, the video clip of the growl, the grunt.
Yeah.
And I said to you, there's another guy in the UK, he's the only other person that I know that's got this recorded. That's this guy.
Oh, okay.
Now, he's done his 10-year research in this area and he's bringing out a book. And just off the top of my head, it's something to do with basically down the line, Bigfoot is really fairies.
Bigfoot is really fairies?
Yeah, just bear with me. I'll just bear with me a second. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hold on a second.
I think there's fairies and I think there's Bigfoot. I don't think the two are the same.
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I'm kind of like going more towards the side of stuff that we can be whatever we want to be. We can just choose. This thing can choose whatever.
Yeah, he can. He can be a big fucking pigeon. Remember? He can be.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Be a tiny little penguin, pigeon.
Whatever.
It's not. Apparently, Bigfoot is no longer a giant hairy hominid that people have filmed and seen and had interactions with. Now it's all these other weird things. No, a Sasquatch is a Sasquatch. Period. What that is at its core, in a metaphysical sense, I don't know. But a Sasquatch is a Sasquatch. And I can tell you that with certainty.
Yeah, so, okay. So after this 10-year study, the book launches on, when's the date? The title, it releases on...
Hey, Country Boy. I'm sorry. Hey, Country Boy. I just don't want him to think I don't see his comment. Sorry.
Who's that, Chris?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hi, Chris. So this book is being released on June the 15th on Amazon. And it's a 10-year study. If you want me to read the background of it, I will. Are you ready for this?
Go for it.
Okay, so the mystery of Bigfoot has endured for generations. Folklore has touched on this through the centuries, and yet we have not come any closer to recognizing this phenomenon as a reality. How can this be when countless numbers of people have witnessed these incredible things? Even in the United Kingdom, there have been many, many reports, including modern day encounters. Are all of these witnesses mad, or is there some truth behind this myth? The Green Man adorns many medieval churches and cathedrals dotted around the British countryside. But what do they all mean? The whole mystery has stretched through hundreds of years and across different continents. So isn't it about time that we can get some answers? A 10-year journey has accumulated in some explosive revelations that now will throw some light upon this enduring mystery. For example, what has William Shakespeare got to do with Bigfoot? And did Charles Dickens even carry on with his storyline? And one of the most iconic fictional characters celebrated around the world will come under the spotlight as their true origins will be revealed. But is this a fictional character or one based upon folklore reality? And does that historical reality live on into the modern world? Thought-provoking statements will be made that will get you thinking about the things that you accepted since childhood. Will Christmas ever feel the same again after reading this book? Is Bigfoot just a fairy tale, or is there a magical world out there that we're only just starting to explore? Fairy tale or fairy tale not? This links to historical references to fairies. You be the judge, but as they say, seeing is believing, and that is exactly what the book will offer. Some of the chance of doing your own journey into the Bigfoot world starts right here. So,
ladies and gentlemen, real quick, please say bye to Joe. I think he just wants everyone to say goodbye.
Joe, goodbye.
Goodbye, Joe.
Goodbye,
Bye,
Joe. Joe, goodbye. Take it easy, buddy. Watch your eyes. Please watch your eyes.
So, okay, so here's the thing. I believe in the Fae. I believe that there is probably many different types of Fae out there. When it's said that Bigfoot's a fairy, though, it makes it seem like, okay, he's this little sprightly thing that bounces around and yada yada, and I don't believe that's the case. Could he be a part of a larger world of different beings, right? When you're talking about fae, sprites, trolls, leprechauns, elementals, whatever, it's possible. But what is impossible? If you're from Ireland, they believe that the little people in the fae are all very, very real. I mean, this is not some kind of joke to them. It's not just folklore. This is like real life. You don't mess with them. You leave them alone. They are mischievous and they can be nasty, but I just have I have a hard time with it. I have a hard time believing that these creatures, these beings are related to the Fae.
I understand that completely. And it's only because of that, through the knowledge of understanding that we don't have, maybe.
Or maybe this guy is just trying to put his own spin on it.
Well, I know this guy's been hard
Has
at
it. Has he seen one up close? Has he been in the presence of one up close?
Yeah.
He has?
Yeah. He's also experienced one of the most phenomenal things, over 300 orbs at one time, all flooding through the forest. This is the same guy that I've been following for many, many years, and has given quite a substantial amount of evidence forward. He's got loads of evidence that nobody's even seen. And I hope that it's not just one book or another book. What he was trying to do was trying to get a documentary sorted out. He wanted to take somebody seriously on as a documentary, do a serious documentary, but I don't think he achieves that. He's a very, very specific person who's has to do things a very specific way, and his way, I guess, because he holds kind of a lot of keys, I suppose, to this thing. And he would say the same thing, that what we're saying about Bigfoot, So yeah, it's interesting, and I will be reading his book when it comes out. And if people are interested in having a look at this guy at all, he does have a YouTube channel, and it's called Anglo Sasquatch.
Well, it's a good name.
Anglo Sasquatch.
I'll check him out fresh.
So he's been going for the account, I think, is 10 years old. A lot of people, that follow the Bigfoot thing don't see the stuff in the UK of what people are looking into and stuff like that. Like maybe people in the UK don't see too many stuff from America, of the people that they should be looking at. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is an interesting one, and I'll be very interested to see what he's got to say, because I think
I'm
he's
going
going to
to
be
read the book fresh.
What's that, bruv?
I'm going to read the book.
Yeah, cool. Because I think he's going to.
I don't read books, but I will read this book.
Can you read a book?
Oh, of course I can, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just asking. Obviously, you don't, so I just didn't know if you were capable.
No, I just don't do a lot of reading, mate.
It's all right. You can drive a fucking minibus, Ben. Don't mean to say you can use song and verse and.
Who's to say what the day job is?
Well, we already know that. I've already background checked you, so.
I think he's trying to keep a little bit of his personal life personal. That's what he's trying to say.
Yes, that's
Not
correct.
have it spilled out on fucking internet.
Yeah, we all know you do sneakers. They all know what I do,
no sneakers.
and they all know what he does.
This is all because I wanted to read the book, right?
Yeah. But don't do it when you're driving.
This is why this is precisely why I say, yeah, I sell sneakers. That's what I do for a living.
That's right.
So then he can say it, and I don't have to go. I don't want people knowing my business.
That's all you've got to do.
I sell sneakers. Yep.
That's all you've got to do. The art of secrecy is being secret. It's just that's the art. So anybody only knows what you
consider me Jackson Pollock, bitch.
Do you like Pollock's work then?
I like Pollock's work. I do.
Do you?
I do,
it's
yeah.
Surprising, man, that is really, to be honest with you.
Why is it surprising? You know who I am. You know how I operate. I mean,
no, it's just surprising that Pollock's like a big thing there.
He's not a big thing here.
No. Well, that's what I was thinking. So how did you come across Pollock?
Well, I mean, I think I'm probably a bit more cultured than many people realize. I mean, I do know a bit about a lot of stuff. Art, music. I mean, I don't just because I'm a very big like hip hop fan doesn't mean that I don't know about Etta James and Ella Fitzgerald or Elvis Presley or Sam Cooke. I listen to all different types of music just because I'm a tattooed, kind of troubled youth who's made some mistakes doesn't mean that I don't know who Jackson Pollock is or who friggin' Claude Monet is or
but it's all connected. It's all kind of in a way connected, like the whole hip hop thing and the culture.
Art is art,
fashion.
man.
Yeah,
art is art.
It's all street. That's where it all comes from. And then Pollock really did turn things on its arse, like the same as Damien Hirst and stuff, and change the aspect of what's acceptable in art.
100%. I love Dolly too.
Yeah.
What? Why are you laughing? Not all of his stuff. I don't like all of his stuff. I don't like the latest shit is kind of But
hasn't he got human things now?
Who?
Salvador Dali.
The guy that split the sheep.
That's Damien Hirst.
That's Damien Hirst.
You thought he said Dolly?
No, I was talking about Damien. Hasn't Damien now got human bits cut in half?
Yeah, he sold himself out and all sick and twisted a long time ago, you know what I mean, and broke away from like even people like Robert the Nudger and all these kind of people as well, Twisted, really, really twisted people.
Listen, some of the most twisted people on the planet are the most creative people on the planet. There's a very fine line between creative genius and
insanity,
fucking nutbag. Yeah,
there's one of them in my hit list, and her name is Bramovich.
Bramovich.
Do you mean the guy Bramovich? No.
The artist.
Okay. Are they related?
More than fucking likely.
Yeah.
Bernie, I also love Dolly Parton, just so you're aware. Yes. Jolene is one of my favorite songs ever. I love Jolene. It's a great song.
Dolly Wasn't Dolly the one that was sold to you as the sheep that they genetically modified, the first
Yeah.
ever one?
Yeah.
That was all bullshit.
She died early, didn't she?
What's that?
Dolly, the genetically formed sheep, died young, didn't she?
I'm not too sure about that. I'm too sure about that. But yeah, that whole radon thing is very interesting, Carl, because the gases, they emit light and they actually glow when they're electrified, buddy. And they go from different colours, from amber all the way through from red to violet, blue. And these things can be seen all the way through the trees. So when people are saying, "Oh, what's that? I can see that," or whatever, it could be misinterpreted that it could actually be radon gas and the buildup of radon gas.
It's an interesting theory.
There's only two gases within with what they call noble gases, which noble gases is called inert gas. Inert. So noble gases can't mix with any other particulate. And I was checking to see if radon was a particulate, and it is a particulate. I run a dry cleaning business for no customers. Are you a cop?
Hold on. We got another one. Hold on.
Yeah, this is great. It's the one I was laughing at.
You guys are on a roll tonight.
Oh, Carson.
Most people won't get that, Hope, but I get that. The cat version. I get it. Toe beans, I get it. Nobody else will, but I do.
What's Country Boy asking? Fresh, do you think there is more paranormal over in your part of the world due to history over there? Good question.
I think I do, and it's very similar to here, because whenever, again, energy, right? You live in one of the oldest parts of the world with a very violent history, violent past.
Well, the murderers, the people that run this place, and the first ever settlers, and all your models came from this place. It was the middle of everything, so they had to control the middle of everything, But yeah, huge genocide. They're just murderers. I mean, the whole job. Fucking hell, all over the world, we've got a problem of just souls everywhere. Then, because they've been murdering and culling. That's what they do. That's what their jobs are. They cull.
But where you are specifically, I mean, they literally fought within England against each other to overtake different parts of England. It was like, you're all English, but we're not together. And they fought each other even to get different parts and become under this person's rule and that person's rule and that person's rule. And it was, I mean, violent shit, man. Violent.
Yeah,
this is not like today. You're talking about close up, right in your face, swinging swords and axes and.
Oh God, yeah, but I'm not being funny, dude. Probably in the last 5 years, more people have died from knife attacks.
Oh, I believe it, 100%.
So paranormal, like I've just been reading, is the paranormal still has to exist in the modern world,
of course,
but it's got to exist in a different way, which is death of other people in different ways, lots of different ways.
Of course, I think that anytime that you have,
so paranormal is that, isn't it? What is paranormal? What is the word para? And then we've got the word normal.
Yeah, it's something that's outside of the normal realm. It's not. It doesn't fit in the box.
Opposite to the normal. Yeah.
So
to the normal.
Anytime that you have anytime I think anyone dies under tragic, violent, when they're scared, when they're incredibly sad or incredibly young, it's not their time to go as we see it normally. I think anytime that happens, there's a higher probability that there's going to be something that keeps them here, because they're soul, their energy, that vessel doesn't feel like it's finished. It feels like something was taken from it. And
I believe that. 100%.
And that leaves something here. And then there's the other part where it's not an intelligent haunting, it's a residual haunting, where that energy becomes imprinted in a place because something's been there and done something over and over and over for so long that it's like a record playing on repeat. It just keeps doing the same thing every single day. Doesn't interact with anybody. You see it at places like Gettysburg, where, you know, these soldiers would march in formation there, and then they die there, but they continue to march in formation there. They do this march, they disappear, they're gone. Same time the next day, they do the march, they disappear, they're gone. They don't interact with anybody, they don't say anything, they don't do anything. Just the march, and then they're gone. In a school, you have a teacher that worked there for 40 years, and she's seen wandering the hall. She doesn't interact with anybody, but she wanders the hall the same time every single day. I think energy can be imprinted into things and left there too. The intelligent stuff is different, though. I think that is more like the tragic shit. There's just something that's left undone or unsaid, and so just like England, I live in New England, the oldest part of the United States, where England and the United States fought for control of this country. You have more paranormal occurrences that happen in New England than any other part of this country. Where I live in Connecticut is one of the most actively haunted states in the United States. I mean, if not the most, it's probably 1 and 2 with Massachusetts. Not a coincidence.
This is the thing right here. If we turn around and say then, if a medium can talk to all these people from many years ago that died many years ago, and can also talk to people that died a few months ago, then how and where is these people talking to all of these people? Because all these people must be around.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they're all around, then we must all be here doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So when the medium talks, she turns and talks to the person that now has come forward, that's seen you sat in the chair, that wants to now come and talk to you. Because that's the only way I can physically think logically in my head how it would work.
Do you think they all stay though? Do you think all the souls stay?
I'm led to believe that
Where do the ones go? Where do the ones go that aren't tormented, that have a long and healthy life?
Well, you don't have a long and healthy. What do you mean, that have died of natural causes and had a long, happy, healthy life?
Yeah, happy that they've lived, happy that they've died, fulfilled, move on. Where do they go?
The person I was like talking to about is a shaman, saying that that how do we put it? You're here to learn, and if they feel that you've not learnt enough, or you could probably go and help something else somewhere else, that might be where you get put off to go and help somewhere else, or go and help somebody else somewhere else who's got a specific project for you. This is the archetypes, you know what I mean? This is the architects. Don't think for a minute. We know who the order are, we know what the order does, but don't think for a minute they're pulling the strings, because they're not. We've got bigger things behind this, and that's what the whole cover-up's all about. You know, like I said, paranormal is, we're not finished with the paranormal yet, but this is all associated to it. And these could be, like we know, and Kyle knows, these could be an old race of people. And as we've been devolved and lost the ability to do X, Y, and Z, Don't forget, we've also been force-fed into sneakers and shoes all of our lives and lost full connectivity with the earth and the ether. And when that energy flows through us, this is why you feel so good when you go to a beach and you've got your feet on the beach, and why you can go sleep so comfortably. It's because you're actually connected to the earth. So you've got ether flow to your magnetic field, or to the earth field, or to the land. And that's what makes you healthy. And that's why grounding is such an important thing. And also, if you think about that and you are only energy, you're also fueling yourself full of energy, because you're in this constant flow of full positive ions, this being the positive, this being the negative. That's how it all works. So if something was going to use this energy, what I'm saying is, Kyle, you're listening?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try something then, because
I'm going to tell you though, I have to get off in 15 minutes. I have to be online.
No,
for work.
Listen, I'm cool whenever. You can drop it now if you want. I'm not bothered. Whatever you want to do. But I'll say this. I've not seen any research yet. Go into the woods and stand there barefoot, and just to see if there's any difference at all being connected to the earth like they are in energy, or what we're dealing with is energy. So go into the woods, take your shoes off. This is what I'll be doing. So I'll be doing this. I'll be going into my place and taking my shoes off and just seeing if that changes anything. You never know.
You think that doing it just once would change something? Or do you think that it would take?
I don't know. I don't know what I think or what I know. I just know.
I walk outside barefoot like every day.
That's what I do.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah, you have to connect with the ground, and it's very, very important to. And you do feel better for it. Everybody does. You've got clinics and places where you go and do this thing. People go and pay silly amounts of money to go and sit on a patch of grass, when just because somebody's putting it on for a service, somebody will go and pay for it when they can just go in the back garden and do it. It's crazy.
Oh God, it's so funny. It's the truth.
What's going on?
It's the truth. People will pay to go sit on a patch of grass somewhere because somebody's saying, "Come sit here. You can ground yourself
here because we're telling you this is a perfect grounding place." Well, that place must be better than my back garden. Why is it so special? Well, there's loads of people that come here, so there must be something special about it. No, they're all paying to come here because they all think like you daft twat. Thank you. Come and sit on the grass.
Country boy, yes, I have been to that site.
Which site?
The Jack the Ripper. Some of Jack the Ripper's are murder sites.
Yeah, we've got, you're going to have these bad energies and stuff like that, but this is all to do with the whole connectivity of what that site was. So if somebody was murdered there, maybe it gets stuck there or something to that effect. You just don't know. Or because trauma is involved, maybe there's always going to be a connection to that area. I don't know. I don't know because I've not passed through yet. I've not found out.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I just kind of go off of,
I'm kind of like excited to die.
The first one of us to go, right? No, don't laugh. This is serious. The first
I'll be the first. I'll probably be the first one.
You don't know that.
I don't know, buddy. I'm probably got it.
It could be any one of us. But all I'm saying is the first one to go. Please.
We'll make a sign to someone.
Yeah, make sure you come back and give the other two a nudge.
Listen, I've got fucking pads full of stuff that I've got to do to people when I go. I've got it.
Listen, I gotta say something too. I like sitting on the grass is fun. Smoking, it's way better though. Let's just be clear.
Of course it is. Yeah, smoking and sitting on it is
all right. Then you're right. Yeah, then you're really
organically. That's what I call organically tuned.
Yeah, you are absolutely organically tuned.
That's it. Yeah, you're taking the herbal nation into an old dimension, different dimension, aren't you?
I'm gonna tell you something. There's a few places I've been in my life where there is a palpable feeling that there are spirits that linger, that you can feel it, man. One of those places is in a certain spot in Salem, Massachusetts, where the witch trials were held. There, and I know this sounds very cliche because it's the witch trials and yada yada, but it has nothing to do with the graveyard. It has nothing to do with the House of Seven Gables. It was in one spot there where there was a fire, and it's a long story, but anyway, it's a very strange feeling to be there. It's like it's like that feeling, like I talk about being in the woods and having 10 people staring at you at once, but nobody being there around you. Your hair stands on end. Like it just stands on end, like you got static. It's the weirdest thing.
Do you reckon if you believe in it and you know that you have knowledge of it, you're wary of it, and then you actually manifest it in your mind that you're thinking about it, or because that's energy and your residual energy as well, and because you're connected within that vibrational bandwidth, do you actually pick up on something of that nature within your subconscious? Because that's a very interesting concept as well.
I not that I don't think it's possible that you can manifest feelings, right? If you think about them.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, you can manifest fear. Well, is fear not a feeling?
No, I just said I agree that you can, but I think it. You know yourself. You're aware. It being in Salem many times, I go just about every year, and I've done for a long time. The places that you are having those feelings about, right? For me anyway, were the places where the girls were hung, and the House of Seven Gables and the trial and all that stuff. This place where I felt this was not a very historical spot as far as that stuff was concerned. I had no preconceived thoughts whatsoever about it, which is kind of what made it weirder. Like it wasn't a place that was, you really talked about in the books, or you were taught in history class. This was something that I learned after the fact from a historian.
Sorry.
Bless you. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. Obviously, you can, people you can make yourself believe anything. You make yourself feel just about anything. The brain's a powerful thing, man. Some people choose not to exercise it too often, but
there's definitely a big difference between a feeling and an experience. There's definitely a difference in between having an experience and having an encounter. The difference of having something in the sky that's an abnormality, the difference of having something on the earth that's irregular, to everything that's in your realm, what you've been taught, how you've been educated, what your perspective is, what they want you to know, is all been completely fractured and changed. We're trying now to negate and go down the past to find out exactly why is this and what is this, so that when we do pass, we can kind of like not know what we're going to be coming into, but have a good idea what could possibly potentially happening. Because if you don't know the rules of engagement, you don't know how to play the game. So I don't want to come back here, like I said before. I have no interest in coming back here at all. No way. Thank you very much. Shove it up your ass.
Yeah.
I want to go to somewhere else. And I think this is why I'm so kind of like head-bent to dig deeper than what normal people are or whatever. It's because I want to make sure it's a case shut thing. I'm not going back. I've learned as much as I can. Do one, dickhead. Thank you very much. Send me off to this new place. Send me off to the nice place. That's where I'm going. Ta-da.
Well, and I think this speaks to human nature and why people cling to religion so strongly, because they want so much. They want to believe in something larger than themselves, number one, and they also want to feel like they're doing, the things it takes to be a good person and be rewarded when their time is up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly down to the thing again, what your beliefs are. If you're a religion, you've been believed and programmed all this time to believe all these things, and you shall not do this and do something, or this thou shall happen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it's just how the rhetoric is, isn't it? You know, it's the oldest book on the table, isn't it, really? It's the oldest coffee book going.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't believe in themselves. They put faith in other people. They put belief in everybody else. They don't have any faith in themselves. That's why they don't believe in themselves. And that's why you can't achieve things if you've got no belief. You have to always be reliant on those that have made you reliant upon them, you know.
Hard to believe in yourself in a day and age when
It's so confusing.
It's so confusing. To do everything they can to confuse
Exactly.
you, and
it's bombardment, constant bombardment. If you think about all the constant bombardment, it's a little bit like you're never going to get to the end. It's like a little bit like these endurance things where you've got that plank, that whole long thing, or the wheel, that whole one thing that rotates like that, and someone's chucking these balls at you. So you're trying to get across these things are swinging at you. You've got to get to the side. On a daily basis, you're completely bombarded by rhetoric and do all these different things and confusing things to completely take you off track and defocus you of actually what you need to be focusing on. That's why all of this is created in the first place. It's all created or by design, or it simply wouldn't exist in the first place.
Yeah, agreed.
And on that note, I think we ought to just leave it at that, because you've been on the time before. I'm very tired, so I've not really got my spark, and I'm just mumbling on. Ben's looking at nail polish or something. But what are you looking at? Sorry, I thought he was actually looking at nail polish or something. I didn't know what was going on.
I'm looking at the screen.
Oh, all right. I thought he was hiding something in your hand and you were looking to see if it suited your thumb. Oh, right. Just checking. So, yeah, it's another night of mystery yet again.
Oh, boy.
Isn't it?
Well, it is another night of mystery.
And there's probably, how many people is actually in the chat? Because this
17.
Yeah, so all these figures that come less and less and less every week we do this should indicate that it's probably not the thing to do. I don't know. No,
that's bullshit. I don't care. I don't care. It's not about that. Because it's about three friends having a discussion or discussions about different things, having fun, joking around, getting a laugh, having a good time. And the people that are here, certainly not here for that, but the people that are here are a great bunch. And
so you know what they say, don't you? The vibe attracts the tribe. So
the vibe attracts the tribe, and I like this tribe. Minus maybe one or two.
When you've got so many people in the chat, but you see there's so many other people watching behind, then hopefully the people watching behind are hopefully getting something from it, or planting a seed, or making them think about their own ways of doing things, or probably they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Or
Bernie, man, let me say something. Bernie, I swear to God, I think Bernie might be a genius. He just got so goddamn smart. But this is perfect right here. Not about views, about exchanging views, opening minds.
That's exactly
that's right, Bernie.
Perfect, perfectly said.
Yeah,
let's not muck it up with our dumb talk.
Who's that, Mav?
That wasn't Mav.
No, that's Ruben.
Is that Ruben?
Yeah.
I'm glad it was, and it wasn't your arse, Ben.
No.
For a minute, that's what I thought. I was like, which one of these guys?
I thought, oh my word.
He's just
which one of these guys had tacos?
Somebody got issues.
He's dreaming away, mate. Sometimes I hear him do that in the night.
Oh, that's friggin' great, man.
Yeah.
I'd be off like that. I'd be paranoid.
That's
I'm
great.
too
Maverick
powerful.
doesn't have a deep voice like that. His is more high pitched, but when he yodels, it's this crazy like.
Funny,
Do
aren't
you
they,
know?
when they dream?
Do you know when he's 18?
Hmm?
When Mav's 18, make sure that you tape all this and play it back to him when he's 18 to embarrass him. Show his mates when he comes around. Listen to this. What this dickhead used to be like when he was younger.
Oh God, he'll still be that same dog, man. There's nothing in him that makes him want to impress his master whatsoever. Not even a little, dude.
I kind of get that.
Ruben's just the same, mate. He jumped up on my outside table today, actually up on the table to give me something to throw for him.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
What does that say to you? That's smart. That's smart. That is really smart.
Bernie says my EMF detector went off with that, and I don't even have one.
Yeah, I mean,
keep it away from your phone, Bernie.
there's a lot of things that like are also created to make a lot of money. Yeah, that don't actually work. When you actually go into the military kind of locked cupboard or go into agencies where they have specific, equipment, let's say, the level of what that is to what you're buying, you're just being ripped off. Let me tell you.
Oh God, yeah, it's
just bollocks. And it's like most people can't tell the difference between EMP is, EMF, Geiger counter. Tell me what each one of them does. How does it work within its fields?
No idea. They're sitting there going, "Yep, it's on EMF right now. It's on magnetic. Now it's on musical. Now it's on doodles. Now it's on, But what do they all do? What are they all measuring?
All of these people need to be pretty careful when they go in. And a lot of cavers die. A lot of miners die. All of these black Africans, they're getting uranium out for all the batteries. They're having short health. They're dying. You're dying because basically you're touching stuff that you shouldn't be messing about with.
Shouldn't be messing with.
That's right. And the reason why a lot of people have a lot of health problems in their homes, and they may be using and saying, "Oh, it's technology or it's something else." It's not, because nobody's talked about radon coming through your homes.
It's dodgy.
I think it's more than that, but we're not going to get into it because we just keep going. But it's the other shit too. It's the bad shit. I mean, let's be honest here. People are pretending to be ghost hunters when they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they're getting into. They don't know what they're letting through or talk. Do you know that anybody with half a mind who's been doing that shit for years will tell you, don't you dare ever touch a Ouija board. Do not do it. It's not a game. It should have never been sold as a game in a store to children, because it's not.
No.
You can't control when you go, "Hey, Aunt Ruth, can you please come talk to us?" In that moment, you're not just letting Aunt Ruth through. You're opening the door for whatever the fuck is behind it. And you're inviting it in.
Well, they also used to knock the Ouija board many years ago.
That's what I'm talking about. The Ouija board.
3 times. Yeah. So all of these things are like, it's still wood. They were all wood in the old days. They were all wood, weren't they? So you knock that and it's like, knock that 3 times. Oh my word. It just goes on and on and on. What's it say?
We got to talk about this next show. Bernie just brought this up, and I've heard about these. The red light glasses. Dave Schrader just did a show on them. Made with radion gas.
Yeah.
Allegedly opens up visible spectrum, strange things being seen.
Exactly. Yeah, there's some. There is these different things that you can try and see.
What's the experiment? What's the experiment they do in the paranormal field where they put they black out your eyes and they shine a red light at you. You put the earphones on, and they ask questions from a different room. You can't hear them, and then you're supposed to answer and tell them what you're seeing.
Well, that's again using it's telepathical.
Yeah, what the hell is the name of that called? Somebody tell
Well,
me, please, because it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of the name of it.
Telepathy.
No, it's got a name. It's the experiment's called something.
Okay.
Shit.
But it's the same kind of context, isn't it?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Now, if two spirits are connected and have spent a long time or connecting somebody, yeah, then they can transfer this information, can't they, Kyle, Ben?
Yes.
We could even try this on the show one night, but people have to be really serious, and this is what we need to find the people that are serious in this whole thing.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
And then put it to test. You
Yeah,
know?
that would be interesting.
Because there's so
The
much.
Estes method.
What's it called?
The Estes method.
Estes, yeah. It's an old thing, that, isn't it?
I don't know that it's that old. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not
I don't know how old it is.
Yeah, it's not done anymore, so to speak, is it?
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's used a lot now.
Really?
Yeah, and with pretty remarkable results. Pretty scary shit.
Well, the red definitely changes the aspect of something to do with optical.
I heard somebody talk about how they used red light to potentially lure in Sasquatch. I don't know how true it is. Obviously, it could be a load of bullshit, but who knows?
I definitely say it's within a different spectrum field using the red light.
Yeah,
it's very strange how you can use the red light and what you can't use any of the light when you're editing images. So you're producing the magic onto paper and you use the red light to produce the magic. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Weird.
I've got one of my customers is an optometrist. It'd be very interesting. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to talk to him. These are, do you know, like, instead of doing things like just the same, let's talk to optometrists and talk about eyes, really get to understand stuff. Let's talk about tree surgeons. How many people? Let's talk about someone who's worked for the National Forest. You know, how long have you worked for the National Forest? 56 years. Well, okay, then. Tell me about tree arches. What do you mean tree arches? Well, no. If you've worked for 56 years, you know fucking damn well about tree arches. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. What do you mean? Well, let me show you these. Oh, yeah, I've seen them, but I don't know anything about them. Well, yeah, but is that possible? Well, no, it's not possible.
Well, I mean, I don't think the forest guy would know what's possible with a tree naturally. I think you'd have to talk to somebody who an arborist or a weatherman or
exactly. And it's getting these people to talk openly because there's no connection to what we're talking about. We just want them to talk openly and ask them questions. Yeah.
The only issue is, this is the only issue. The issue is finding them and getting them to come on a show that doesn't pay them anything and that has 15 viewers. Right? That's the problem. If you have somebody who gives a shit for the sake of giving a shit, then they will. But most people are going to go, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm all set. I don't want to do that. No, I'm good. What do you mean? Talk about what? What's the show about? It's about Sasquatch and paranormal and.
Okay, we'll do it another way. We'll do it.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it tomorrow because I really got to get off. I got to go. I got to hop on for work, man. I really do. I'm late already.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
We do it covertly.
Yeah,
that's the best way. It's like me going to talk to farmers locally, yeah, and just having a voice recorder there because they'll talk to me. If I've got a camera or anything else like that, they will not talk to me, yeah?
Right.
But I can get them to talk to me and they won't see a voice recorder. And I think that's probably a good way of doing it, you know? Did the cat fart then as it come by?
No, she just jumped in my lap and then dug into my leg as she took off.
Oh, bitch. That means she wants something.
You gotta hop off, man. I really do. I gotta get on.
Okay, gents. Well,
thanks for having me.
Until we meet again.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll talk tomorrow, I'm sure, gents.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for all your input. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your amazing comments. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. That goes such a long way, and it doesn't really get hit too often. So please do that. I know most of you are subscribed, so I'm not going to tell you to do that. And then go, if you also haven't yet, please go tickle the ding dong. That'll let you know when this show is going to be on again. All right. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening. We will see you
Good night,
on the next
everybody.
one.
No.
Good night, everybody. Take care, Carl.